Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the GeekVerse podcast. I am the Eggburn dress. Eggburn. I screwed that up. Eggburn dress now, and I'm joined by.
I'm the taste tester, Kirkland Patzer.
I'm the Mini Kong, Dylan Muss.
I'm the Trailer Taylor Field.
The Trailer Taylor.
I love that one. That's a good one.
It sounds good.
What's the taste tester from Kirkland?
I'm so glad you asked, Travis, now. This is a big moment for me.
Oh, no.
This is a big moment for me right
This is a
now.
big moment for him.
eggnog.
Look what I grabbed.
Oh, he's
for the
got
first
it.
time, I think since I've pre-10, that was probably the last time I've had eggnog. And I keep shitting on eggnog. I don't think it's really fair. So I figured I should do a taste test live on air.
Oh,
Throws
my
up on
God.
screen.
Really hard to get into this carton, actually. I just maybe I should.
You should open it. You had 10
There we
minutes.
go. There
I
we
was
go.
late 10 minutes. So you had
You
10
want it to be
minutes pry it
fresh,
open.
though. You want that.
That's
that
true.
Sealed.
So he
But
went
it's
into
also
the
get
fingers.
that
pouring it on the floor.
Pouring it on his
There's a
legs.
He has like a hand pull.
All over your keyboard.
So that's the classic, right?
This is the original.
The
yes.
original. Okay.
And
Now, the
you're saying
thing
these
is,
are in short
technically
supply,
you poured
so
it into a
I got
glass
them.
that was off screen, so we don't know if what you're about to drink is actually the eggnog or a
Just milk.
It's
secret
just ice
like,
cream. It's melted ice cream.
food-colored water over here.
So
All right, here we go.
I don't love the smell of it. Initial thoughts.
Don't smell it.
That's okay.
Just suck it back.
There's lots of things you don't like the smell of, but you
Few of
drink it
those.
anyways. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I wasn't expecting the cinnamon on it actually.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
better than I would have expected. I'm not a milk drinker either, so it's kind of abnormal for me to have a liquid of this consistency.
Yeah, aren't you lactose
and color.
intolerant?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be shitting
Oh.
my pants.
He doesn't
after
abide
this.
by that. You see
But,
the blizzards this guy gets?
Ever since I got a bidet,
True.
it's like there's no rules
Oh.
on what I can intake.
I did not
So,
need that level of
I'm with Dylan
detail.
on that one.
Shit.
Too much.
I don't
info.
mind it. I don't mind it. I don't love it though. But maybe
I think
won't
you
be
like
shitting
it
on
more than
as
you're
hard.
willing to admit.
Just give it a little bit. The aftertaste, and
Yeah.
you're like, I want another sip and another, and then you go down. Then you're gonna have 4 cartons in your fridge before you know it.
45 minutes in the future, my guts are just gonna be gurgling, and
Madison and I have been
Yeah.
mixing
right
it with rum this past week. And I don't think
that's
I've
like
ever
the
had eggnog with
go-to,
rum.
right? Isn't
It's
it like the
so
holiday drink?
good. The rum
Yeah.
just adds
Lemon
that
eggnog.
extra sweet to it, and you couldn't even
Oh my
you can't even taste
God.
like the
Dylan,
alcohol.
are you completely lying and doing a 182, or you still don't like eggnog, right?
I don't hate it myself.
Oh my god! I feel like this is like a truth being exposed here.
To be honest, though, just seeing how much you drink, that makes me a bit sick to my stomach. I'm not trying to judge you, but you drink so
fair.
much that would just that is fearful. That is fearful. Yeah.
Well, you got to drink it while it's in season because then it goes away. And then this week I have 3 cartons because I accidentally at one point had 5, as we saw from the picture, I had 5 cartons due to a mishap buying. So I just feel like last week everyone's like, oh yeah, fuck eggnog. Dylan's like, doesn't hate it. Kirkland's like, oh, here I am trying. And then Kirkland, oh, Taya, oh, I drank it with some rum the other day. It was fantastic. Like, this is such bullshit. I've been telling everybody in the Discord, you're just a bunch of liars, you know? Eggnog, it's great. It's, I'm not saying it's the greatest drink in the world. It's the greatest Christmas drink in the world. Better than hot cocoa or hot chocolate.
No,
Who's drinking
I-
hot chocolate?
No,
You know?
Oh, I am.
Dylan
You
had
ever
hot
see-
chocolate last night.
I
on our
did last
episode.
night on the cast.
See,
Hot
it's
chocolate's
just
the way to go.
too hot. I like a warm chocolate.
Well, you make it hot, and then you know what happens is it naturally cools over the course of minutes.
Yeah,
And
but
then
that's
you
a
drink it when
it's like a
it's-
poser
It gets
drink.
hotter the longer you wait.
It's
Yeah.
a poser
It's an
drink.
opposite
How is that a
effect.
poser drink? What does
'Cause
that
now
even
you're not
mean?
drinking hot
What's-
chocolate anymore. You're drinking warm chocolate. You know that way you may as well just get chocolate milk.
I don't
warm
want
it
to
up.
burn my tongue.
There's a
I mean, I
firm
want-
difference between warm chocolate and hot chocolate, I'd say.
What? Yeah, but that's what I mean. You guys are waiting till it's warm to drink it. You put
Well, I don't
some-
wanna-
Even when it's
I'm not
still
gonna
warm,
like
it's still
actively
hot.
burn my tongue and lips and all that.
Listen, all I'm saying is
Don't
that
recommend.
based on last week, can we trust these gentlemen? No, because they all have different stories now about the eggnog. You know,
I'm a
I'm
truth
only
teller.
fine with hot chocolate when it's the frostbite weather. That's when I'm dishing it out with a good bomb or some sort, like a chocolate bomb or something.
Frostbite weather.
Bomb.
Yeah, the frost when it's gonna like -20, -25.
No,
like,
I'm
you
not
just go
even
outside
drinking.
and
I'm
just-
just holding it from keeping my fucking hands warm. To get
Yeah,
frostbite.
that's a good point.
You could just get warm like glove warmers. Why are you just making hot chocolate to bring outside with you and not drink it?
Can't afford the glove warmers, so he just
That's fair. They are
buys
it all in
bulk
hot
hot chocolate.
most expensive thing in Germany. I hear those hand warmers. So why?
Is
I
that
don't
true?
know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a statistic that's
Another lie by Travis Snell.
Another. What was my first lie in this cast? You guys were the liars. I didn't
Since
say anything.
Spider-Man 2 is
You
better
lied
than
by calling
Spider-Man
us
1.
liars. That's
Yeah,
not
Spider-Man
true.
2. Oh, you know, gotta call it like I see it. But yeah, here we are for the actual 587th episode. That was my bad last week. We skipped 86. Last week
That was a
86.
mess last week.
We're 86. Yeah, it was a mess last week because we called it 87. It was 86. Taylor still actually hasn't done the thumbnail for those episodes. They're
Put
just
it up
thumbnails.
tonight after
Episodes.
this.
Well, and I'm guessing you didn't do a thumbnail for this episode, even though I was 10 minutes late.
This one will have one.
So right now, still plural episodes. The newscast from
tense.
last week still doesn't have one. And then I hear this conversation, and I go, Taylor, no thumbnail. And then Taylor goes, well, Kirkland never asked. Like, it's a weekly thing. It's like I feel
Kirkland
like
usually asks.
I feel like the
waiting
two
for the
ones you
call.
can
I usually
guarantee are newscasts and side quests are like weekly. So I feel like you at least know you're making 2 thumbnails. The fact you're like, oh, I don't know. So there's that. And then Kirkland just forgot to publish the whole episode till the morning. I woke up and I was like, why are stats so low? Like, I know there's not much up. I'm like, why is it so low? I'm like, oh, because nothing even went out today. So
You asked me
just-
to. I'm like, fuck off. No, I didn't. Like, it's
Yeah.
up there. Like, super defensive against you. But
And
yeah,
just
my
the
bad.
cutouts. So I know someone's like, oh my God, they're making us just listen to cutouts now and they're going to make us pay for the whole
Go
episode.
to Patreon for the full episode. You little fuckers out there.
Hey, I know people that do that, but we're not those people. We still give you the flip. So the cutouts are for choose your own adventure if you want it. But hey, Jeff, how's it going? This is a man I've known since elementary school. So I hope you're doing well, Jeff.
Share some
he's
stories of Travis from
he's big-
elementary school.
Yeah, big liar apparently. Starting from elementary school.
Yeah, did he
days.
always lie, or is that a newer thing?
So here's the
developed
thing.
after all eggnogged over the
I
years?
don't think I am now, but I could classify myself in school as a big liar because I just I feel like most people. Jeff I knew in grade 1, and then he moved away, and then I didn't meet him until middle school. I
Jeff,
remember
is any of this true, or are these
I think
all
he's in
lies? as
kindergarten
well?
earlier, right?
Shit,
So
I
that
don't know.
would've
I'd
been
be
a lie already.
lying, but I got stories. Jeff, you can tell one. I don't know which one, but one not to,
The
I'll
worst
block
one.
you for the
Preferably
best.
one
Most
that involves
cancelable.
And then
Not
I remember.
cancelable. As someone who's a co-owner of this business with you, I don't want any cancelable.
No, I don't know. I don't have
things
any.
shared.
No, I don't have any countable stories. I was not a bully. As we've talked about before, I was somebody that unfortunately made a lot of friends in middle school, and then in high school, everyone split off in their own things. I was best friends with a jock. I was best friends with a stoner. Hey, Jeff. I was best friends with the
Oh.
we're too cool for school. I was best friends with so it kind of that sucked. Where it's I always had to divide between the groups and stuff, and then the party scene was not for me. Went to a couple, but I was not. So I think the only thing I was lying about was just the amount of liked people, or I would always be like, yeah, this guy's cool, but it was just so I could hang out with a friend, you know. I moved to a different school from grade 4 to 6. Went back in middle school with that guy. I don't know if you were gone at 4. I feel like you're on earlier, but I remember in middle school I walked up and I went, hey, I went to middle school with you, and he was like, yeah, you're Travis. Okay, great, and then we were back to being friends. So.
That doesn't sound like a very friendly altercation. That sounds like.
Because
He's a stoner, Dylan. That's
you
how they
cornered
talk.
him.
Okay.
Oh right, he was.
he
high.
isn't now. He wasn't then. Jeff, Jeff can admit he's a full-on stoner. But yeah, good times. Jeff, Merry Christmas. Hope to see you soon. Last time I saw him was his birthday at Scandia. It was a good time. He had the whole family there, and that's when we went. And those youngins were taking over the tables, and they were doing that scheme. They knew which machine to get the tickets and stuff. And Scandia's
yeah.
changed. You know, it's changed big time. So
Very grimy now. Yeah, a lot of organized crime.
yeah, that's where they all meet in Rutland. That's their base. That they flood it for insurance money and stuff.
That's how it's still open, man. I'm abiding to that theory.
No, they just charge so much. When you actually go in there and you're like, oh, I got money now, you know, it's fine. And then you go and you're like, oh no, actually, it's to play 10 games, it costs you $20. You're like, no wonder why you just burn through money here quick.
Don't think about that.
I was gonna say, Taylor, is this the first time you're breaking out the flannel Emperor Palpatine one? I think it's the
It
first time.
is
since
just
I've
for
been
Maddie. I was just thinking of Maddie. He loves this, so this is for you, Maddie. Shoutouts to you, Flannel
Well,
Palpatine.
You should have saved it for next Friday, because next Friday, not the 9th, next Friday is going to be our next After 9. Finally, what was scheduled last year is finally happening now, because the mean one is on VOD. There will be a way for you to watch if you don't want to buy it. You know, screen sharing, all that stuff. But anyway, so yes, we're going to be doing that. Regular After 9 for the first 15, 20 minutes, because I think it's only an hour and a half movie. So we'll talk, chill, and stuff for a bit, and then we're going to watch the mean one. That is the Grinch horror movie. You got sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So we're gonna do that. So that'll be on the next Friday. So look out. That'll be 6 p.m. PST after work and everything. Not a morning one, because the weekends were kind of busy. So we're doing it then. And then the next few weeks, I can announce that we're gonna be doing Sucker Punch as our Zack Snyder retrospective. That won the poll. And Kirkland's reading. He's like, stomach acid's in here. Sucker Punch, which I'm very surprised. I thought 300 would win the Patreon producer producer poll. I did not think Sucker Punch, out of all those, would win.
Yeah, I had
but
my tokens on 300. I was kind of surprised.
I think this one, because it's kind of considered his worst movie, but then there's lots of people that
22
defend
Rotten
it.
Tomatoes for that puppy right there.
Oh yeah, it's considered his worst movie, but there's a lot of defenders. It's another movie that kind of got butchered too. Of course, there's a Snyder cut out there that he doesn't think will probably ever happen, but he's trying. But yeah, that beat out Guardians of the Legends of the Guardians of Owls of Ga'Hoole, which I found that was the full title, and then 300. Which is it just 300? Yeah, okay. The sequel's like
The
Rise
300
of the
Spartans of Ga'Hoole.
Yeah.
That honestly sounds more legit than the previous title.
Oh man! And then for our Christmas retrospective, we're gonna be doing Better Watch Out, a movie I don't know much about. I just know it's a Christmas horror movie. I think it's something like a man breaks into their home and like takes some like hostage or something. I think it's a Christmas night and there's a hostage situation, Kirk, and that's what it is. So that'll be coming
Like the
next
opening of Law Abiding Citizen, just a full movie, but Christmas
oh
time.
God, no, not that. Law Abiding Citizen, very underrated movie. I don't know if we're ever gonna do it, so that's the one to watch without any spoilers. Perfect, because I know nothing about it other than I know it's a
Nice.
Christmas horror movie. So that one, because there was lots of movies. There was Just Friends. There was Elf. There was. I'm still surprised. Like Halloween, we never get trick or treat, and Christmas time, we never get the Grinch or Home Alone. I'm always wondering. Like I always thought someone would put Home Alone by now, and it's like I guess not.
That's
right?
kind of
But-
surprising. I feel like Trick or Treat. I mean, is that like a beloved movie by many?
Oh, now it is. Next
me.
Halloween, walk into a Hot Topic or like a Halloween store, and there's Sam gear everywhere. Like he's become like the mascot of Halloween now. And there was like even when we were at the mall this year, tons of babies with the Sam thing. Like he's taken over. I think that's the only reason they're making that sequel. Is they want to make more Hot Topic money. They're like, oh yeah, we gotta
Interesting.
do
Okay.
this. So yeah,
Insider trading.
I can see
the
it. I
hot
can see
topic
it.
guy
Yeah.
making these movies.
so there you go. Home Alone is
Oh, my
overrated.
God.
Oh wow, we're gonna just
Whoa.
ban this.
Only
guy
one
right
way to
now.
find out and to do a
Fucking
retro.
stoner.
So next
No.
year, vote for it.
No, I actually just watched that this week, making the Christmas cycle now. So
It's overrated,
excited about
you
that.
think?
No, that's my number one. The only movie I would accept over that being the number one Christmas movie is Home Alone 2, because I go back and forth on which one's better. They both have their
so
shine
good.
spots. I think I lean towards one just because 2 is literally just a copy of like it's beat just a couple jokes, different locations, but 2, like you got Tim Curry in there, some of the jokes like Marv turning the fucking skeleton and stuff, and that screen is like,
They up
it's
the
so-
ante though, and two like those are much more like they're not just like bruises and whatnot. Like that's
Oh,
like
no.
to kill.
That brick.
Yeah.
That brick. Paul,
Yeah.
Multiple bricks.
My
And that's
golly.
like 7 or 8. I watched 3 the other day because I'm not quite ready for 1 or 2 yet. I need it to be like deeper into the holiday season.
Oh,
but
no.
I loved 3 as a kid as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's got like a bit of nostalgia. It's not good, but it's like it's kind of funny still. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
It's,
guess
it's
the
got a
job
soft
done.
spot in my heart. So yeah, I wanted to start with that one, and then I'll probably watch 1 and 2 multiple times as I do every year.
It's
Is
such
that
a
about
change of
4 or
pace.
5 or
car?
6.
Everyone had a hot topic.
You like the scene in Oppenheimer? Did you know the bomb was going to
Yeah.
kill those people? Tillman's like, no, that's for the country. I wasn't approving it. You approved it. What did you do?
Is Home Alone 3 the one with the RC car, or is that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
big RC car movie for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Big sponsor. Yeah.
It's a change of pace, that third one, because the first 2 are very humble, like home and then New York. And the
Right.
third one is immediately like weapons
Humble.
trading and some like
No, you're right. They're,
black
they're like
market.
international terrorists instead
Yeah.
of just like pretty much harmless burglars than the first ones. Yeah,
ScarJo's in that. Young ScarJo, right?
she is. Yeah,
Yeah. And then, you got 4, 5, and 6. You haven't checked out any of those ones?
I've never seen those ones. No.
4 is just like a straight to DVD TV movie special with just different kid, different criminals. 5 is Kevin McAllister, and it's in canon. I don't count it, but it's them. And his parents got divorced, but they get back together at the end of this one. But they get divorced, and he bumps into Marv, has a girlfriend.
Sorry, Kevin
now.
McAllister, but not Macaulay Culkin is what you're getting at.
No, not Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
No, he didn't come back at that. Yeah, but then like Marv is like he's French Stewart plays Marv, and he has a girlfriend, and he's like I don't know, like a home cleaner or something, as like a guy has to rob homes or something. I don't know. And then 6 is it's not too bad. That's the one Disney Plus made a couple years ago. There's some fun jokes. Like Rob, I think his name's Rob Riggle. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's the guy that in Deadpool who played like Ron. He has the big mustache. You remember him? Yeah,
little
he's
bit.
one of the criminal guys. He's kind of funny. Got Kimmy Schmidt. Like, yeah, she has those weird like neo-Nazi beauty pageants. So I don't know if you dig her anymore, but like, she's all right in it. And then but it is in the universe because Buzz becomes a cop. Buzz is a cop in that movie. The same actor.
Nice.
Don't they talk about how
I
they
was trying to impress
they
Dylan
prank
here.
Kevin or
Yeah, I'm
something
not
like that?
impressed by that. Like the least likable character.
Yeah,
Give him
no,
some
they
backstory.
talk about like, oh, something happened to my brother one, like something like that, right? Like this sounds familiar. It's the same block and everything. Not as good. I'd probably still put 3 above it, but there's some laughs there. But 4 and 5 never watch. I could make a case for if you were out of movies like 6, like oh sure, put this on. 4 and 5, no, that's never do it. Me and Emily watched it once because it was on Disney. I think it was the first year Disney Plus came out. I was like, oh, let's watch these. Never done them. Terrible, terrible, terrible movies. So don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it.
When we get in the Legacy sequel of Culkin, before we start this news, like why have they not pulled the trigger? He just got his Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
You know what they
Harris
should do?
huge.
Same age as that old man with the shovel from the first one. That they
No,
claimed
that's
is
a
the murderer.
lie.
That's a lie.
It's confirmed. The script's already out there. They're just waiting.
That's when they should do the sequel with him, and he can be the new old man Marley. But I think Home Alone could make a very good video game, like a Hitman
Absolutely.
style game. I think could be really, really sick. So
Could you
give me
get 2
that.
modes where you play as Kevin, then play as the criminals too?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
try and
you
go
got
for it?
Yeah, like
asymmetrical
RPG,
online PvP.
RPG skill tree. Yeah, all
Like
this
Friday
stuff.
13th Texas Chainsaw. One guy's Kevin, the rest of you are criminals, and Kevin's like super scary.
Made by
but-
Rockstar Games, of course.
Oh yeah, we're not making Bully, but we're making Home Alone. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's a story right there. They're old enough. Kevin leads the kid home. I don't know, but because he can't be left home alone when he's just a man. I expect him to handle it, but I just feel like it's like the window's shortening. Joe Pesci, Daniel Stern.
It's
It's
It's shortening, but then it's widening as Macaulay Culkin gets older, as I already laid out. Once he's a
for
very old
him.
man.
Yeah, but I mean to get everybody back. Like I don't think Joe Pesci would come back, but
That's a
at
good
least
point.
just send an offer out to him. See what he's cooking. Yeah.
I'd like to see it at some point.
Because he's like he's in a TV show of Pete Davidson where he's playing like his dad or uncle. It's like if he's gonna come back for that, he'll come back for Home Alone 3. Disney, you're in a rut this year, having lots of bombs. You get that like Force Awakens poster with Macaulay Culkin, Captain Harris, Daniel Stern, everybody.
Buzz the
man.
Cop,
Yeah,
yeah.
Buzz the Cop. We're back, baby. You're gonna get $1 billion movies. That would make bank at Christmas though. They release Home Alone 3 proper next December, blows up,
Ooh.
huge.
I
We
think
can find a
so.
rich one.
I think so, but
Yeah.
I've been wrong before. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not saying $1 billion actually, but I'm saying like a big movie. But yeah, there we
Small
go.
budget.
Yeah, yeah, real small budget. But Phil, where can they find us? Because this week it's a little switcheroo. You should be getting side quests a little earlier, but this week we're holding off because Thursday is the Game Awards. We'll be there live right after breaking down the winner, the announcements, what random guy walks on the stage. But then tonight we're doing news. Past 2 days, you can go and listen to the X-Men retrospective. There's 6 episodes left for the public feed. For the patrons, you only got 2, and that's going to be recording soon. So look out for that if you want those ad-free early. Please subscribe over there. $5 gets you the RSS feed, exclusive episodes, ad-free episodes. You can go join After 9 next week. Call in, have a good time with us on our movie to watch all night. Wear your Christmas sweaters. Bring your eggnog. Hansi, if you're listening, you're the mayor of eggnog. If you're not there, I'm outvoting you. You're no longer the fucking mayor anymore. I'm taking it back.
Vote
But,
no confidence.
yeah, vote of no confidence. Yeah, but Tara, when all this stuff is dropping, Christmas retros, Zack Snyder retros, Aquaman reviews, etc., where can I find it?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Interconnection in the search bar. GeekVerse.ca is our home base. GeekVerseCast our Twitter. GeekVerse is our Facebook. And Travis, I want to show you something. I showed Dylan Kirkland off air, but you remember you mentioned X-Men Retro, right? You remember how I got this little lady here?
That just looks like Palpatine. Every time you pull it up, it looks like reverse Palpatine. But yeah, you got Storm.
Well, I got that.
You got 2 Storms.
I got
and
2
a third
Storms.
storm.
That other one's Morph, actually. And that other one is Mystique.
Yeah.
That's what I
More
can't.
Mystique, yeah.
So you've bought 2 more, and they just happen to be Storm again.
I asked Madison to pick one, and then I picked one, and my fucking luck, they're all Storms.
Why are you gonna throw Madison under the bus? That's not fair.
Oh, because she picked one. I told her, Madison, I need you
Fucking
to pick
told
one.
Madison to get me
She
one
went-
that's
she
not
went to the
Storm.
shelf.
And what did she do?
She shook
went to
it.
the
She's
shelf,
like,
picked
"This
it."
sounds like Storm. Let's get this one."
These poor Walmart workers are just looking in the parking lot, just some almost 30-year-old man. fucking storm again.
Toys R Us. Toys R Us. But
Toys R Us.
I was vocal about it when I opened up the package.
Shit together, babe. But yeah, not much news tonight, but tons and tons of trailers. So even though Side Quest is in a couple of days, we're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto here because it's big. And Game Awards, we're going to have lots to talk about. So we're going to lead with that. So if someone wants to pull up that trailer because, there's lots of movies out, lots of TV shows, but this is a, 13-year odyssey waiting here? No, it's less than that. It's 10 years,
Oh
9
my God,
years?
2011? Was it
Close to
2013?
11.
2013.
Is it 2013?
2013, I want to say, yeah.
I think it's 2012.
I think it's
fact check?
2013. I'm pretty sure I was.
Kirkland,
Out of school
2012, right?
2013, September 17th.
That's the PC version. Don't listen to that. But okay,
That's
there you go.
the next gen version.
Really? I just thought. Yeah, I
It's not
guess
actually the
so.
next-gen
That
version. I
tracks
lied.
because I remember because me and Emily were living at my mom's for a little bit while we were mid move, and I
Didn't
was
it
just
come
like,
on the the start of Target era?
No,
I think
it
it's a
was before.
re-release. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I had to work the midnight release. That's why I was pissed because I had to go and work it and everything like that. So, and it was so cool. They gave us these money clips that if you pre-order, you got with it, but something was faulty, so they had to throw them out. And even we had the shitty supervisor who wouldn't even sneaky them. He just tossed them all on crunch. But they were really, really cool. But yeah, that's what also we're gonna see it in the trailer there. But yeah, we got that trailer. Was supposed to come out this morning, but was leaked, and that man probably is dead, or a woman, or they, whoever maybe that leaked the trailer. But came out at first. There was just like a watermark over it, and then Rockstar, smart enough, just put out everything. It's the most viewed YouTube video of all time that's not a music video, so look at that. So it's right there. But and then it was confirmed that it's 2025. Yeah, there you go, Kirkland. 2025 is when it's coming out, and as of right now, it's just confirmed for the Xbox and the PlayStation. No PC, and surprisingly no Switch. I know everyone was really holding out for that,
Yep,
so I thought
big
that was
shocker
good.
there.
Yeah, but
Well, the Switch 2
another-
isn't announced yet, technically.
True.
So
It's gonna be
they're
a
waiting. That's why they're
powerhouse.
putting it 2025 to wait for the Switch 2, clearly.
yeah, it's gonna be the size of the
It's actually
Wii U tablet
possible.
again.
They did release GTA Trilogy on the Switch 1, so I could see that happening.
Isn't
Is
GTA,
GTA
Trilogy like,
5
coming out on
on
Netflix?
Switch? Yeah,
Everyone's going to stop talking at the same time. Okay, my ears can't handle this.
We'll use a hand raised system.
go Kirkland.
No, I'm done. I said what I wanted to say.
Well, I didn't hear it because you both spoke at the same time.
I said, isn't GTA Trilogy coming to Netflix like very soon?
Netflix. How do you do? Yeah, I get it. Play it on
It's a
your
great
phone
question.
or something? I don't know.
No
It is,
idea.
yeah, it's something like it.
Your TV remote.
TV yeah, something like yeah, it's like playing Guitar Hero on Elden Ring. But it never came to the Switch though, right?
The trilogy, I don't think GTA 5 ever did, though.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. Not the
So, yeah.
trilogy, I know that because those were those dog shit kind of ports.
Yeah, they
right?
look like dog shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so 2025. So before we break down that trailer, Taylor, are you surprised that you're gonna be waiting for at least another, more than a whole year plus? Even if it comes out this January 2025, you at least got 365 days plus.
Yeah, I mean, I usually kind of anticipate like, okay, trailer drops maybe like 4 to 6 months before the game is going to release, but this is a very, very big game, so I was kind of thinking that I should not be shocked if it's going to be like a year or something still well off. And I say that because when you look at these larger games and you look at something like Elder Scrolls 6, I mean, that's who knows when that's coming out, but we got to reveal
coming.
more.
It's coming,
So-
Taylor.
It's coming. So I attributed it to this as well. And sure enough, here we are, 2025.
You attribute what?
I attributed that like a large game having
Okay.
a fairly distant release date after it being revealed. So
You made it
I
sound like Elder Scrolls and this were tied because I
No,
attribute
no.
to Elder Scrolls.
So the longer it takes, it just means the more polished it's going to be. And this game, I hope they polish it as much as they can, because I remember when that first GTA 5 dropped, there was a lot of bugs and a lot of things that I exploited online. And I say that, I mean, there were many missions you could do where you could just do like finish the mission and then just do like a reload and you start at the start of the mission again. You can just grind the missions and just make fucking millions of in-game currency. And they fixed a lot of those bugs. So the game was very problematic. I remember my friends couldn't even for the first couple weeks actually log into the online. It had so many issues. So I'm
Single
just
player
talking
was
about the
good
online.
though, right?
Yeah.
Single player was fine.
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
that was
remember
totally
having any
fine.
issues with single player. Other than like
No,
maybe an
it-
achievement was bugged or something.
Come
like
on,
that.
it was
Online
mostly
didn't come
just the
out for a little
multiplayer.
while, right?
It was
Enough
based
of this,
out.
guys. Stop.
You're right, Kirkland. It was spaced out. They dropped the single player first and the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But I remember it was the 2 discs that they
There's
had.
like a
You
month
couldn't-
difference though, right?
It was quite extensive. Yeah.
That's not like quite extensive. That's like a little
Yeah,
bit.
That's like I'm done with the game by that point.
You're done with Grand Theft Auto after a month? Jeez Louise.
No. But I mean, I'm. What was the follow up to the question, or was it just like the release date?
I think you answered it there, Taylor.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, Taylor, I usually don't do this, but I got a notification. You want to hear some really good news?
Yeah.
Godzilla -1 coming to Grand 10 this Friday.
No. What?
Are you busy that day?
there. It's just a cock, picture of cock.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. So let me know
How
when
do
you
you-
see it.
what?
Because I got notifications and everything. That's how I still use Twitter. I'm not on Twitter all the time because I follow accounts, but then I just have notifications for the ones that are important, that like news, trailers, video game stuff. Like, oh, this is stuff I'd want. I'll only scroll if I'm like at the dentist, if I'm bored, try to stay off it, but there you
It's
go.
coming to the extreme. It's not even the Grand 10. So who's coming?
I said
with
the
me?
West Side.
You said Grand 10.
I heard Grand 10.
This liar.
Yeah, you are a liar. It's
Embodied
been lying since grade
Wow,
one.
West
You're
Kelowna.
lying.
I heard. Yeah, we'll figure that out. I'd like to see it. So yeah, I definitely no. We'll have to. There's Nutcracker this weekend, so we'll talk offline. Anyways, Emily's giving me a bad look. Anyways, so what Taylor was saying, I'll piggyback off because I feel we talked about this many times where. With GTA 5, I felt like it was they dropped the trailer and it was, it's here only in like 2 to 3 months. Like I thought it was like a Fallout thing where it's like they were waiting till they were ready to go. And then so when I heard we're getting a trailer, I wasn't thinking even this like early next year, but I was like, okay, fall's looking real good. So my theory is that they thought they were going to make fall and they weren't. So I think it's going to be spring like 2025 because I just feel like that would attract. But so when I heard this trailer, I was like, oh, good, it's coming a lot sooner than I thought. And then the 2025 got slapped in there. I was like, oh shit, fall, it's like next September, you know, like literally. So yeah, obviously we're gonna talk about the trailer. I think it's fantastic. Obviously it's just more of just a not cinematic because there's definitely I think some gameplay being shown, but it's just a vibe. But I think they do a great job of they always are revolutionizing their genre. Whenever you think, okay, GTA's done everything, 30 seconds in, you're like, oh, this is why you wait so long to make a Grand Theft Auto game. This is why you don't pump it out all the time, because there's so many facets of our world, especially they're kind of tackling a more Florida slant, and you can see what happened from Florida. S. Bubs, you can speak to that 9 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago to now. It's a whole different place. At one point I wanted to live there. Absolutely not. Again, sorry, S. Bubs, get out of there. But, yeah, I was surprised about 2025. I did think it was coming 24. Even just their idea, the date would be that. Maybe it'd get pushed, but I thought that. So it sucks, but it's going to be a fun build, and it's worth the wait. Like, I was getting really excited because I think me and Dill talked about we're going to do the video game preview. I think in the early months, there's not too much. So I was like, I had my fingers crossed even of like, oh, summer, spring, maybe. That'd be great because it's looking a little light. But no, I'm sure 2025, and then there's going to be, well, actually, I don't know, because maybe lots of games will move out of the way and be like, I'm not going to go anywhere near GTA because I think this will break a lot of records once again. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the date.
No
Yeah.
games will be releasing in 2025.
All of them delayed in
no.
2026, yeah. Except for Just Dance. They're like, we're still coming out.
Somehow outsells.
S-Bub says it looks very accurate, the game, as far as the depiction of Florida.
Alligators going into
the side-by-side
grocery
shots
stores.
that they've done with like
Well,
the
that's
real,
true, the alligator thing. Yeah, that's
it's
from
crazy.
a TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very, very, very well made trailer. I feel like it met my expectations. I wouldn't necessarily say that it like surpassed them, just because I was expecting this. And while watching it, I just think it looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get in there. And 2025, it is a bummer. I think I was definitely sold on the idea that it was going to be right around the corner. Even like fall next year, I thought might have been kind of
Yeah.
on the later end. It's like, I think it'll be out maybe before then. I just feel like Rockstar are rock stars, and as soon as like you mentioned with the GTA 5 trailer, it's just like, yeah, it's coming out a couple months from the release of that first trailer. But so that was a surprise, a little bit of a bummer, but like you said, I think it's worth the wait. And it's not like I'm gonna be boycotting Rockstar now because I'm have to wait another year to play this game that's going to be going on for another decade, right? Like it's interesting just being in this era, I think, of the GTA 6 release, because like in 5 years this is still going to be getting just insane amount of support on the. I mean, GTA 5 is still getting online support. Like it's crazy the longevity that these Grand Theft Auto games have. And yeah, no, it's very, very impressive trailer, and I'm very looking forward to what the that image got me. Very much looking forward to just what the story actually is, because GTA 5, I think what the world is and the things that you can do in it is the best part about it. But the story of that first game is actually very well done with the 3 different characters that you can play as. So very excited to just. Sorry, GTA of these new ones, I guess. So GTA 5.
I'm like, I don't hear many people shout GTA 1 on the
GTA
story.
1, man. When you go to those
story.
phone booths, oh my god, I just got chills every time. But
that's what I was gonna say. If you're talking about like the new era, right? Do you Kirkland start that at 5, or do you?
I would say
incorporate 4 in there.
Definitely, you would have to incorporate 4. I would say. I think 4, like San Andreas to 4. Was just such a clear like innovation like upgrade. I think there was just so many like lighting upgrades that just blew my mind. Like the cars, the way that you would drive them, they just felt so real in comparison to what San Andreas was. But like I remember going into San Andreas on that release, I was playing with my cousin on the PS2 way back in the day, and like I couldn't believe that you could jump over fences. I'm like they're innovators, you know, like they're just changing the game. You can actually parkour somewhat.
No game will ever top this.
So recency bias, obviously, it's kind of hard to like judge how just I thought in that era of GTA 3. I think personally though, like GTA 3 would have been like the start of a new era in Grand Theft Auto, because that I think that was the first one that wasn't just like top down, like it was actually 3D plane, if I'm remembering that correctly. Maybe someone can correct me there, but Vice City, obviously, like following that one, and then and then you got GTA 4, and then like those sub games, whatever those ones were. I can't remember if those were DLCs or actual full.
I think it was just
games,
DLC,
right?
like Ballad of Gay Tony,
Okay.
and I forget the name of the other one, right? Just DLC.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but yeah.
What are
no,
the
it's
bikers
exciting.
were named? What were the bikers? Remember
Yeah.
that's what it was? Can't remember.
You're
There
close.
also
I was definitely thinking bikers
Lost
as well.
and Damned.
Well, it's yeah,
Lost in the
Lost and
Damned.
yeah. I didn't give a name, but yeah, thank you. But
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the release date. I don't know. When I see 2025 this far out without a month or anything, to me, it's like so easy for that to slip. And let's say it's aiming for like fall 2025. That's like the easiest slip to 2026 I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know. It doesn't really excite me yet. I'm still like kind of just putting it's on the back burner, as it just feels so far away, and I'd love to be proven wrong. And I feel like from what I can recall, I don't feel like Rockstar delays their things drastically, but also tons of the big people at the top of Rockstar have like changed in the last few years. So who knows what's going on over there? And even like I think that like the parent company got bought out, so I'm sure there's just going to be a lot of differences in how this game rolls out than when GTA 5, like all that whole decade ago, is a very different thing. I had a similar feeling to this when I can still remember that first kind of GTA 5 trailer, and I remember still that one of the things that blew me away about that GTA 5 trailer was just like there's just shots of people walking on the streets and they're just like smoking cigarettes, or like they have a soda that they're drinking, and it's just little things like that. I'm like, wow, that's so like just the level of detail that they're going in here to add to that realism, that sandbox element of it is really exciting to me. And then when the game actually came out, and it really it feel like it brought that realism more than the previous games had, and GTA 4 was already super realistic in a lot of ways. So I got that same vibe from watching this one in terms of that the animation quality, the way characters are moving around and talking to each other, all that stuff. So in that way, I'm very excited because I know this game's going to be just a tech monster. And the way there's so many other trailers we get like this, and I'm like, I don't believe anything you're showing me until the game actually comes out. With Rockstar, I believe it. I believe that the game's going to look this good and the animations are going to be this insane. And yes, a lot of it's like not necessarily in game, but a lot of it did look like it, and I would believe it because of where we can get with kind of more modern tech and with where Rockstar's at and how much money they have to put into this thing to make it insane. I ever since we kind of got because I guess until this trailer, technically Rockstar never confirmed it was Miami, right? Like that was really just more rumors, and we pretty much knew it from the big leak that happened like a few months ago. Mm-hmm. That was always kind of not super exciting for me because we've been there before, and also I just think now like, okay, is it gonna be another 10 years before we get the next GTA? At that point, they're gonna be like, well, it's been a while since we've done New York, so we might as well go back there. And then we're gonna, it's been a while since we've done LA, so we're gonna. I just feel like we're never really gonna go anywhere new, and that's inherently less exciting. Even if it's like a bigger and way more detailed world than obviously last time we got Miami was a very long time ago. So that's inherently something that is a bit unexciting for me. There was something about this trailer that I really wasn't digging, and it was that the trailer really seemed to focus a ton on like the influencer perspective of it. It seemed like this game's like all about like taking videos of crazy things, and I just have this fear that it's going to be integrated in the online, or the single player is going to be less focused on because of the huge success of GTA 5 online, and there's going to be this huge like integrated social media in this game, and like that is the least interesting thing ever. I do not care about that whatsoever. I hope the game doesn't go that direction, but that's like what 90% of this trailer is. It's like TikTok perspective videos and people taking crazy clips and doing crazy things, but then it's all about just like posting those crazy clips online and whatnot. So that part I'm not hot on. I'm very excited for just like the big tech element of it, the realism of it, and a big expansive world. Some of that, but I have a feeling this is not going to hit the same for me that GTA 5 or 4 did, but I'm probably still going to really enjoy it. That's kind of the very early vibe I'm getting from this 1.5-minute long trailer.
I don't know if they're gonna make it like a huge. Like, I guarantee you, there maybe could be a side quest or something like that where it is like, oh, go get this big video, like that portion Wreck-It Ralph 2, where it's like, go get some likes. But I feel like that might just be a side quest you don't have to do because you'll have a phone. I just think that it's tough because how much social media has changed from now until GTA 5. I feel like they had to do it in their minds because they're all about social commentary, right? And then plus, I think at least one of the leads, I don't know, both of them, in the beginning of the trailer shows her getting out of prison, right? So I think that's going to be a thing that shows like, okay, maybe she's been locked up for 15, 20 years, and the idea of TikToks, everything, that's all going to be completely foreign to our characters. That's way. I'm not saying you have to like it. I just think that's why I think.
Yeah, I don't want that. Like, I would prefer if this game was set in the 80s. Like, that would be way better.
I'd be with you. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I would have agreed that too. But I guess I trust them enough to make it entertaining. I'm with you though that I hope it's not an overabundance of missions or core gameplay. I'm just fine if it's stuff that's happening on the side, and maybe there's like a social media influencer side quest, and that's about it. Like, I think that's the route they go. I think with this trailer, they're just showing it off because GTA is known to being so like on the bubble, and what's all big right now is being a trending star and likes and everything. But
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I hope you're wrong in the way of like it's not like a big part of the game. Like, I hope it's just a vibe setting, especially with Florida too.
I definitely think that there'll be like an in-game Twitter equivalent, because what they were showing off, like, it is a cool way to show certain scenes, especially in a trailer. But I feel like just the inclusion. Well, I guess the phone was included in GTA 4, right? And then they just expanded upon it in GTA 5.
They put in cheat codes,
I definitely think that we'll be getting like I don't know how usable it'll be. I think it'll be pretty impressive though, just like the usage of the Twitter whatever equivalent is on the in-game. It just seems like we are going that way with just how much you not necessarily was using the phone in the 5th game for gameplay purposes, but like you used it pretty much every single time that you did play that game, like not even just for the online portion, but for like accessing menus, you used it, which
exactly.
It was
the menu
system.
integrated into the world. It's good. Cool.
I did like S-Bub's comment here of he said, I don't think the game will be like that. It's just how most people see the crazy stuff that happens in Florida through social media, which I definitely agree with, because I like, again, I was mentioning the earlier, the side-by-side comparisons that people have done of like the ridiculous videos are actual from Florida, and then I think actually all the ones that they did show in this trailer were ones that were switched over to like the in-game version, whether it was like the lady standing there with the 2 hammers, the alligator walking into the superstore, which just seem ridiculous, but they're even crazier knowing that they are real instances,
I guess for me, like the kind of like the Florida man, like the Florida jokes, like those kind of became not funny for me like 5 years ago, and that's kind of where we're at. It's like I don't know when they started on this idea, and they really wanted to hone in on this setting and go wacky with it. Which GTA 5 was a pretty wacky game, a lot more wacky than GTA 4. But I don't think it's gonna be my cup of tea. But I'm still like, I think gameplay wise and like just tech wise, this game's gonna be insane.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Doing those online heists with the boys, come on now, that'll be fun.
Oh,
times.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because I played a lot of GTA Online, but it took so long for heists to get added that by the time they did, I was done with the game at that point. So I never interacted with them really.
See, I remember
100%.
those when they first got added. Those were super buggy as well too, because I went back in, but those were a pain.
Those
And then
loading
same-
times, man. Oh my gosh. You're waiting so long to get in. Someone like drops because they're
And then yeah, it's just start
drops or
over.
something.
Oh fuck, we don't have a hacker anymore. What do we do?
But even those parts in the single player campaign were so fun. I loved the
Oh, yeah.
heists. They were so good.
And that's one thing like I know we're gonna bring up with the trailer. That's the part where the social media thing we'll see, but the story right now looks like we're doing similar to 3 where you're gonna play as the multiple characters, but I'm already more into this story because I still thought the GTA 5 story was good. I enjoyed it, but I thought 4 was way superior, and I didn't love all the dynamics in in 5 with the 3. Like it was all right, but I just feel like this I can really gleam onto. I love the Bonnie and Clyde situation. I'm very curious if it's going to be when you were Franklin at the end of the 5 when you had to make a choice. I'm very curious if you're going to make some sort of choice of like girl kills the boy, boy kills the girl, or you stick together, like whatever it may be. I'm very curious to see because I think they're functioning it as she's the main character, but I still think you're going to play
like
as
it,
him. Yeah, so I'm just curious: is the decision just going to be based with her? I really don't know, but I love this dynamic, and I think they should hopefully knock it to the park. I hope they make it a loving relationship and not just a like, oh, we love fucking and it's all like. I'm hoping it's more. I want to be criminals, of course, and they can have their passion, but I don't want to be. My biggest fear is a relationship style the same way like Trevor was as a character, just like, yeah, we fucking love like I don't want Pumpkin and Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction. Like I like them in the movie, but I don't want that to be our characters. I'd actually like to be rooting for them, and I don't think that's the vibe. I'm just saying because GTA can sometimes go that route.
Well, I mean,
right?
I feel like we didn't see much about the man protect. Like I don't know if he's playable, but he looks like he's kind of in the key art, so I would assume so to some extent. I feel like I don't really know much about him, but she seems a lot more down to earth and like the least zany crazy part about this whole thing tonally, which I don't know if that's the idea, is that she as a character is maybe more blank slatey and then you kind of can do whatever you want, crazy stuff with her in that way. But I mean, has between Red Dead, Bully, any GTA game, like I don't think they've ever had a woman protagonist in the game. Like obviously GTA Online, but that's kind of an exception. I don't think they've ever done that before.
GTA
right?
1, I guess, because there's 4 characters you can pick from, and one of them is a woman. So there you go.
Is that
But
one of
it's
the
not-
top-down ones?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not one of the classic like this. But yeah, I saw that. Well, technically, there's this. Okay, but yeah, this is it's a big deal, and I think like being a clean slate character again works. Because I'm insinuating that she's at least been in prison probably for 5 to 10 years, right? So it kind of works her coming out as a clean slate because
Right.
she's been locked up, which like. I don't know if we've done that. Like Nico was an
Didn't they
immigrant.
do that with Michael though in the last one? Didn't he get out of the jail?
Yeah,
Isn't,
but
like
when
every
he comes
character
out,
you've ever
Isn't he,
played
like, on house
GTA,
arrest or
like coming out
something?
of
House arrest,
prison.
well, the
Or I
only
guess
difference-
CJ isn't actually. He's just coming back home. So yeah, there you go. You got me.
But the thing with Michael is like he has a wife already and 2 kids. Like you already have that whole, that's what that story is gonna be, right? Where her, of course, yeah, she's like a boyfriend, husband, whatever. But like you don't know where that's gonna be. And Trevor, he was, I think, an escaped criminal too. But still, he's just like the crazy wacky guy. And Franklin was the new up and comer. And with 3, you're just already a criminal, right? I can't remember, or San Andreas, sorry. So I can't remember past that. I guess who was Vice City originally? Because it was voiced by Michael Madsen, wasn't it? Or he
I
was in the
cannot
game?
remember his name.
Yeah, but he was a criminal. You were part of the mob.
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
part of
you
the mob.
which I'm sure you're gonna meet somebody that you owe some money to, and it gets you back in. But I kind of like that. Hopefully, it's not a you can kind of do that. So
The start of 3 is a prison break, actually. So you are you are a convict. I remember that opening very vividly.
Right. And if you never beat the mission, then you're always a convict. And
You're always a
the rest
convict,
of the
yeah. You're just in bars or behind bars, in bars,
Yeah.
not in bars.
How do you guys think this game's gonna work with GTA Online? Are they gonna integrate it and make it one big thing? Is this gonna just have a new starting from scratch sort of ethos? How do you think they're gonna do that?
I think yeah, they'll start from scratch. I think that's a very grand thing if they're able to like copy over like all your because I know people have dropped a lot of, I'm sure, what are they called, like shark cards? They're in-game currencies.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people have spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars that they wish they could take all that stuff over, but this very much for me feels like it'll just be a fresh slate.
I mean, they've put in a lot of time to make it so that you could upgrade your character from, was it like PS4 to PS5? And they even did it like back in the day when it was like 360 to
much
Xbox
easier
One or
though. I
whatever,
feel from game to game.
Yeah, but I think that goes to show they do have that intention of like respecting people's status and like what they've earned and spent in game. Nah, I don't know. I feel like I'm more obliged to the clean slate because I just think that's fair for everyone next generation too, just to kind of come on board and have a fresh start. Because if you got someone who's already sunk in like $10,000 of real money and has like a gazillion shark dollars, you go up online against some guy with a whole fleet of fucking AC-130s or tanks.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want
Yeah,
that.
but in theory, like
No.
on day one, couldn't someone just buy $10,000 worth of shark cards and be OP?
I doubt
anyway?
that they do that day one because the shark cards weren't even available for the first. Bit
Oh,
of
I guarantee this one will
online.
have shark cards day
Yeah.
one with
You
online
think so?
working. They are not
Yeah.
launching this game till online's working
I
in the way
agree.
that GTA 5 had that bad launch because they didn't know what GTA Online was going to do.
No.
And now it's the hugest fucking thing in the world. They are not releasing this game until that
Even
is
if like
buttoned
pay
up
to
and
win
guarantee they're going to
has-
have microtransactions in their day one.
I mean I know the microtransaction will do well, but it's just been such a very touchy subject for games lately. You feel like it's going to be well received.
Money
even
talks,
as
though,
GTA.
dude.
But
Like,
it's-
best selling
I think
game
too-
of all time.
It's
They're
because it's
definitely
Rockstar.
gonna-
Yeah, it's
Well,
GTA. It's Rockstar. You have all the power. The same reason I agree with people that this game could be $100 too, because everyone will buy it. You know,
It's
like
already $100 for us Canadians.
but no
I think.
American USD, because that's been a rumor
Dude,
for a while. So
The thing with microtransactions, it doesn't even matter if it's Rockstar. They work because people buy them. It doesn't matter what game it is. If they have microtransactions, there is someone out there. There's people buying phone app microtransactions. So
except for Avengers. Avengers didn't.
Avengers
work out
didn't?
for-
Damn,
well,
game
it
of the
did,
year.
But I mean,
Game
like,
of
never got $1 out of me because it was
Yeah.
fair. That game was not savage with microtransactions. But.
yeah, I just mean like you're like, oh, all these games I sell, like, oh no, well, you know, so some of them, and that's where this has an audience though, to sell those microtransactions. You know,
I definitely think microtransactions will be in there with the release of online, but I don't think online will actually be on the release of the game. I think it'll be a month out, like
two are
they did
crazy.
for Red Dead
No
Redemption
way.
2. They did that. GTA Online, they did that.
yeah, I'm with Dylan where I think we've now gone the full circle where it's kind of like with Call of Duty, no one is really waiting for the campaign. The campaign's so second. I don't think the campaign is secondary to the Grand Theft Auto, but I think there's a lot of people that it is. There's a whole generation that just bought that game, went to online, and maybe never even touched the story portion. So I think I'm with Dylan where you have to. As a company, I feel like they have to launch it with it because there's more people wanting to get in that, see what's new. Maybe it'll be like I won't say barren, but maybe it'll be like the first one where there's not too much to do. Like they had go do a race, go do a shootout, a deathmatch. But I think they're gonna make sure that launches. I think they could even delay it to make sure, just because so much money. Like people are gonna be like I said, the whole trailer is about spoofing this generation, right? That's the whole idea of like short attention span. I guarantee there's going to be a huge percentage of people that never even touch the story of this if it launches day one with online, and maybe that's the idea to get you in and play the story. But I think
That's what I think the thought process is. If they've spent all this time manufacturing the game, I agree with you. There is going to be people that never even touch the story, but I think on the release, just for like if you're a developer on it, I'd be like, yeah, no, you guys have to wait a month to at least access the online.
New
I don't know.
generation
Maybe
though,
I'm
right?
maybe I'm
That's
whacked
the thing.
for thinking that, but I
You're
definitely
whacked.
think that's going to be the case.
I think you made a good point with Red Dead because I forgot about that. So it's interesting that obviously came out post GTA 5, but I think the GTA name is gonna be enough to push that, and also so much of the leadership from this studio has left in between GTA 5 and now. So
yeah.
I have no idea what the people there want to do or think about this. It could be very different, and then there's always, of course, the publisher looming over them, who are really the ones who make those decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, let's take an ad break, and then we're going to pull the trailer. And we already talked about some stuff, but we'll talk about Sony pauses, stuff like that. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So just a question here. How would you say that? Pinolio?
Pinolilo.
Pinocchio.
Says, I think 6 or 8
Pinolilo,
months we'll
yeah.
get trailer 2, and I think it'll be from his point of view. Could be. I agree with Dylan because he's on the cover art. I think he is an important part. So I could see that. I think that
If they're on track for a spring release date of 2025, sure, I could see that.
That's where I was going to throw in that. I don't think you're wrong about the point of view of the trailer. I just wonder the 6 to 8 months if that's where I'm more, because
I'd say more 8 months if I had to guess.
yeah, I would say the 8+ months. I don't think 6 months, because I even think this trailer I can even go like not what's the point, but in a
Well,
sense,
even-
what's the point? You know, like they don't
Yeah.
need to drop this right now. So
Yeah, Rockstar's kind of weird because even often when there's a big trailer drop like this, like an announcement for a new game, usually like the same day, a bunch of articles will drop where a bunch of, the IGNs of the world had done some interviews and then a bunch more information is there in article format. I don't think there's really anything else on this game. When I was looking around, I couldn't find any kind of new info through that stuff. It was just people talking about the trailer, obviously. So I don't know. That, of course, Rockstar just works differently than other. Like obviously they could have done this at the Game Awards in 3 or 4 days and got a huge eyes on it, but they don't need to because they already got more eyes than all of Game Awards is going to get just on their own.
Yeah. I was surprised because Keely sure made it sound like they had that trailer because they talked about
Do they have something else for that? Do they have like the same, like a little modified or a 2-minute version or something?
Maybe, but even then, like I feel like it really like Keely's trying to be a mooch there because like Rockstar was like, oh, next month, trailer. Someone's like, oh, December, and then 5 minutes after they tweeted it out, Keely was like, Game Awards this date. So it was kind of inferring, hey, you're gonna get that at the Game Awards, but they definitely did not, and I feel like it does not have the same chutzpah as it does.
Here's my prediction.
Okay.
Right when they do the winner of the most anticipated category, Keely's going to make some joke about like, I wonder what's going to win this award next year, or something to that effect. I think he'll make some cheesy little joke like that.
If he does that when he puts out that little poll of his, I'm going to drop a big fat vote on that F on how
he's going to put out his poll of his. You said?
Yeah, remember every time he's like, how'd the show go? And it's like A, B, C, D, F or whatever. And
I thought you meant like a fire poll or something. Like
Yeah,
he
I thought you meant. I thought he meant a
does.
different kind of poll for sure.
Yeah, he likes to go down a firefighter pole with his pole out and then puts
With
up
his
a poll
fucking
on
Muppet
Twitter.
or whoever he brings
Yeah.
with him. Yeah.
Gonzo's going to be hosting. Hell yeah.
I'm
Actually,
sick
no,
of
I
these
already
Muppets,
said.
dude.
I take it back. I already said I'm giving this a conference vote because he's making Gonzo host. So there you go.
This trailer gone.
Enough
Yeah.
Gonzo.
Oh, not yet. No. Hey, I was Super Guns for Halloween. Great. I got lost love with the costume. Oh man, look at that. Loving these colors. Loving the Florida aesthetic. That's what we talked about before. Yeah, she's getting out. She's saying, I guess I'm not
Look at all
lucky."
those people.
So, saying she's not a criminal, just not lucky. I don't know what that means. So,
Described audio for the hearing impaired.
what I just said or what's happening right now? Lots of boat action. Lots of people have been very fan of the hair mechanic, which I'll give them that. The club, which there's so much, there's too much going on. Neon, the colors. I love that there's lots of multiple shots of clubs. Yeah, there's the hair aesthetic right there. People are talking about, but yeah, I love all the shots of the clubs and stuff. People making jokes that you're gonna actually see strippers with some jiggling assets now instead. So
Right.
so it's just getting a slice of life here. The guy was writing. There's too much for me to say here, Kirkland. That's way too fast. There's your
You want me to slow
mega.
down?
There's
Slow
your
down?
mega people right there. That's literally a TikTok, obviously. So, yeah. No, this was a weird spot to. Yeah, you can go past this. This wasn't worth.
No, I'm just so excited for the
Oh, look
the
at
population density, the amount of cars on the road. That kind of thing just excites me the most when we're talking about like a next gen GTA. Especially when you go back to like a GTA 4 at this point, you're like, why does New York have like 5 cars on the road maximum at any given time?
And between the last shot with those people like crashing through a table and there was a conference, whatever, feel how you feel. They're definitely gonna have a group of mega people. I can feel this already. There's like there's a certain group of people that keep showing off in this trailer that fit a certain aesthetic. So I'm very curious what they're gonna do there. Oh God, Jared Leto's Joker also. In
Yeah,
this
the
game,
Clown Prince
so.
podcast over there.
Yeah,
Or I mean,
there
sorry.
he is. But yeah, it's all looking great there. Now, do you guys think they're gonna bring back the sex mini games? Remember
Sex
San Andreas
minigames.
could do that? San Andreas could do sex mini? Or sorry, no, they deleted it. They took it
Oh.
out. Remember
Like,
they could.
yeah,
yeah.
I do remember
And then GTA 4, you
They
could
took
get
it
a
out. Sorry, what
prostitute.
is? and
Yeah,
what-
there
like-
was gonna. I think in 3 there was a mini game that they made, but they deleted it because they thought it might be
I
too crowded.
see.
But it was like having sex mini game, and then obviously GTA 4 you could go and acquire prostitutes and stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm
GTA
wondering.
5 as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
I never got prostitutes in 5. I don't know. I guess the way I was playing those 3 characters, I guess it wasn't warranted. You know.
I think you
Didn't
can.
lie,
Maybe I'm
didn't
thinking
lie.
about GTA 4, but I'm pretty sure you can.
4 happened quite a bit. Middle school years, you know.
Oh yeah.
Lots of A/B repeat. No, I'm joking. But
Your
Yeah.
feet on the video game.
yeah, they don't have it. But what I'm loving too in this is obviously it's just Florida, Vice, but like I'm loving all the different aesthetics going on in this
Yeah.
trailer between the clubs, the beach, the like countryside, the
Oh,
city
yeah.
side. There's like 4 to 5 places just already within the city that look so lively and different. So, oh fuck, yeah, can't
The
wait.
mud area.
Yeah, Thrillbilly. Did you see what that was called? They're called Thrillbillies.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
That billboard there, I was just looking at it because I wanted to
Yeah.
see what it said.
Kirkland
It's a
won't
pharmaceutical
pause.
company, and it's obviously it's called Angstapan, and it promises to cure emotions. And the small print at the bottom says patients should use with extreme caution. Sudden urge to blink could be life threatening. Call your doctor if your erection lasts more than 4 hours. Results may vary.
Oh, sick logo too. And that's what I can't wait for too, right? It's just even the radio stations they have, just like not even the music, but like the hosts. Like I'm the only thing that scares me is just where I am in my place in life. Like I don't have the time, but this is a game where it is like depending when it comes out, I don't buy a game for another 5 to 6 months because there's going to be so much content in there. Not even talking about the online stuff, just the actual game, and I'm excited.
It's gonna be tough for you. Usually, plan your sick day around the time of a big video game release. But everybody that you work with is gonna be knowing about this game release. I'm sure.
No,
No one will be working.
I work with losers. So.
Just a universal holiday for the,
I don't
the
work
release
with-
of Grand Theft Auto.
I don't work with any. The only person I work with the game guy is like he refuses to play full price games. So he'd be like, "Oh, I just bought
Oh, there you
Fallout
go.
76 for $20 like last year." It's like I don't have any. I'm not gonna talk to you about this now. Like we're way past. And he'd be like, "Oh, I just bought this game." And it's like, yeah, the new one's out, man. Like,
What's
I'm
the
not gonna-
game that he says that you are finally going to flip that coin and actually talk to him?
I think it has to be a game that I care about. So maybe it'll be this. Like, oh, just picked up GTA 5. And I'm like, okay, man, 6 is-
GTA 5, 10 years later, he's like, I'm finally.
I'll ask
That
him.
makes
I'm
sense
checking
because
it
he's
out.
buying games not full price.
I'll get an update. I'll get an update on that. So, but yeah, no, I don't work with any gamer, so I'll definitely I'll take that day off easily.
That'll do it.
All right. So now I don't know how to do this, but we're gonna do this because I don't want to put it at the end because Maddie, Patreon, this is what you can do. Subscribe. Thank you very much for the support. Hope to see you next after 9. He asked out of the projects, and we're gonna maybe go in this sort of order, but he asked out of the projects we're talking about today for the trailers, what are you most excited, except excluding GTA? Because I think out of all the stuff we talked about today, did anyone have anything other than GTA as their number one for most excited out of these projects?
That was my number 1, 2, and 3, even though I was kind of negative on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much close to Dylan. Maybe like 1 and 2 that'd be my list.
Taylor, did you have anything on here? You're like, you know what? Actually, I love GTA. Because what game were you picking last week? It was like
Star Wars.
Oh my god! Yeah,
And again-
you see this trailer, you're like, oh, Outlaws.
Just to reiterate. Now, when GTA 5 was coming out, I went to midnight launch, but I didn't pre-order it. I was there with my friends, hanging out, having a good time.
Right, I
And
remember.
they
You're such a
convinced
boomer,
me.
Taylor, telling your stories. I wasn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
on my TikTok. I was just chatting with the
They-
locals.
Convinced
You like
me
Grand
to
Theft
get
Auto?
it,
I'll
and
buy it
that we're
for
gonna
you.
have such a great time doing it. And you know what? Heists weren't there immediately. We didn't end
Yeah.
up playing it together, so that was a bit of a buzzkill. But I ended up buying the game then. But I guess should I just start first with this question then? If my
Please.
answer
Well,
is
all of
different
us-
than
yeah.
GTA.
Yeah.
It
Don't
honestly,
do it.
it's like it's tough because it's.
No.
I really was thinking like, you know what, House of the Dragon is just. I'm really on a fucking
Really?
high with House of the Dragon. Like,
I
I'm
didn't think that's where
really.
you're going.
What's that?
I didn't think that's where you're going. I saw the monkey and the gorilla for sure.
I mean, that's
That's
top 3. That broke top 3, but
It's
I
no
think-
minus 1.
No, it's no -1. But yeah, I honestly do feel like House of the Dragon is definitely number 1. I'd probably put The Boys season 4 at number 2,
Oh my gosh.
and then
What?
I'm
Does
excited for
GTA
The
like
Boys.
offend you or something? Is that's why it's like
No, my list is excluding
3.
GTA. No, this
Oh,
list is
okay.
excluding GTA now. Like GTA would be
But still
2
House
though
of
after.
Dragon? Okay.
House of the Dragon would be first and GTA would be 2, but excluding it for the list for Maddie's
Wow.
sake, because Maddie's
Okay.
question here. So
Well, I
I'd
think
go-
he said that because he thought we all would have picked that. So that's why I was changing his question a little bit to see if anybody
I think it's because he
would.
hates video games and doesn't think
Yeah.
that they are a real art form.
When's the last
Me or
time he listened to
Maddie?
the side quest? I haven't seen. him
Yeah,
on
when's the
side
last time
quest
you played a
recently.
video game, Maddie? What was the last game? Huh?
Yeah, come on,
uh,
punk.
my number 3 would be Godzilla and Kong, just because I So exciting.
That's actually
What do
Godzilla versus Kong. It's not and.
That's
Godzilla
the previous
X
one.
No,
Kong,
it's what does the
actually.
X even mean? Godzilla X Kong.
It's like
That means-
and.
that
right?
means
Porno.
versus.
Is it?
Is it actually
No.
X? Oh
I don't
god.
It
think
is
it's
X.
versus.
Versus was
was
the
the
first one,
previous.
Dylan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I concede. I concede.
X doesn't mean and though. I've never seen someone be like, "Oh, Travis
multiply,
X
yeah.
Dylan are hosting
Like multiply,
this
yeah.
episode." Is it?
You never seen that? You never seen like two names, like someone X.
No,
someone
Anytime
really?
they announce a new crossover for Smash, it would be like Smash times Bayonetta, and it would be.
But see, you said times. So see, you
Well,
said
that's what X
Smash
means.
That's the
times,
symbol.
but you said
That's the symbol.
Smash. But he said like I would have done Smash times and Bayonetta. No, is that how
Well, 'cause
people say
it's-
it?
Well, yeah, that's how you say it. Yeah.
So this movie's called Godzilla times and Godzilla, or and Kong. Do I say
What?
times and, or
There you
do I
go.
only say and? Okay.
This is a very
Shit time.
unofficial source. This individual studied at National Institute of Fashion Technology, graduated 2021.
No.
When someone puts an X in between two independent entities, it means that two entities are collaborating for a specific purpose. So this is coming from the fashion world, and maybe they.
I found that
got
on
some
Screen Rant.
inspiration.
So should we
Specifically
call it
referring to
Godzilla
this movie.
Collaborate Kong?
You know what? Now that Sam and you say that, I have now thinking of music wise. That's where I would have seen it. So that makes sense. Okay, why though? People often use it for fan ships. Okay, I think that's Bubs. Thank you, Sam. Why are they not just calling this Godzilla and Kong? Like, why is it X?
An X is so much cooler.
X's
I would
are
agree with
cool.
Taylor.
One of the coolest letters.
But it's like
You know when you're-
Godzilla and King Kong. on the
Travis, name a
title.
cooler letter than an X.
T.
Even though the X has greatly changed in meaning recently because of
Travis, remember when you're
Yeah,
back in the
I
Xbox
don't know, you
360
wanna figure-
days and you see
No,
online a
those
guy
days-
has a
those
few
were
X's in his
nightmares.
name? It's like, oh, this guy probably just fucking.
Why were you
slayed
just
this
zoom?
game.
Why were you just? Yeah, because I saw some guy with X's in his name. Thought he slays in this game. No, that's
Oh,
what I was
yeah.
thinking of. Why are you looking for guys with X in their name? There's
Because
dating
that's,
apps. for
that's the
that.
gamer tag
420
thing. Back,
XXX.
back
Oh,
in like back in like 2007 days.
His
See that
Katie
in that
must be
gamer
great.
tag?
He has 10 X's in his name, and he has
Oh, yeah.
boys with his head.
Those people all grown up. They're playing GTA 6.
Well, let's talk. So
Or
let's,
Godzilla. They're writing Godzilla.
in the year
movies.
2026, maybe.
we're gonna incorporate this question all the way around. Let's talk about Godzilla and Kong now, and then we'll go. Then we'll go around. I don't know. I said I was back in because I was done after the last Godzilla versus Kong. Like, that's it. This is Dylan, because you didn't see that movie, right? Awful movie.
Absolutely not. No, I didn't.
Not great. It's really bad. It's really bad when even Taylor for the big crossover puts other Kong movies above it, in my opinion. So really bad as I came out. And then they cast Stan Stevens, and I can't remember who the director is, but I like the directors. So they're like, okay, maybe I'm back in. But luckily, and even more luckily now that we do have Godzilla -1 coming out, for me, that's like, that fills the box. I no longer need to see this, so I'm really hoping for Taylor's sake, because I'm going to throw him next, that Kirkland is reviewing this. If not, I know Taylor will do a solo review, but this is also coming in March, where I think it's this, Dune, and something else, because we were just talking about it. It's a
It's a
stack.
heavy month.
Yeah, and it's that thing where it's like, okay, once I get to that 3+ movie, it's like, as a father of 3, it's like, I got to start picking. Maybe I'd see it, but non-review wise, right? Like when like Avatar I had to see later, like Killer, Saltburn. So there's sometimes I go, okay, I can't see this review weekend. This would be that. This trailer, I don't know. This is nothing I want out of this franchise. I guess it's just that maybe with Godzilla versus Kong, if there was like a level of, oh, fuck it, let's throw and just be really cheesy. They seem like they are being really cheesy here, but the problem is they always still take themselves so seriously. There's like an hour of human subplot that always is boring. I don't know why Godzilla has the fucking mech arm. And I broke when I saw Baby Kong. Like, man, like that, it looks bad. It doesn't look bad per se, but just like, the CGI doesn't look bad. It's his design. I don't know. There's something off, something weird with him. But yeah, I think with this being in March that I can't subject myself to 2 hours. This is a VOD home watch for me. But now Godzilla -1, which everyone the way they describe is like, oh, this type sounds like the movie that I want of a Godzilla movie, and that's great because people, if they want like a cheesy, fun Godzilla Kong movie, you got it. Like, you can all have your different flavors. It's different though, where someone like me who likes Batman, oh, I'll take all the Batman flavors. With Godzilla, it's like, I'd rather go the very serious, really dramatic route. So I will not see this in March, unfortunately. And this trailer this was the last chance to sell me, and it's like even unsold me a bit more. Like, I don't need to be seeing this. So yeah.
I'll piggyback on you there because I feel like I
can't carry
was
it.
sold
I can't carry you.
until I saw this trailer. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember too many like major moments from that last movie, but I felt like by the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm satisfied. I'm not like regretting that I did see this. There was enough, like the Neo Tokyo sequences in my mind were super epic, and I haven't rewatched it, so I don't know if they are still to that caliber. But I remember really, really liking those moments. There's some really beautiful designs for just the way that they did some of the action, specifically like in that fight arena. It just seems like, if we have a next gen Godzilla game, like I want that as one of the arenas because it just looks so fantastic. I don't know why that's coming up. Oh, I guess
that's where it
originated.
originated.
For the original.
That's where it originated from the first trailer.
The meme.
Fall
Shit, that's
to
like
a
September,
fall,
bro.
Fall. That's like September, bro.
For this trailer, I think it just was reminding me of certain things that I had issues with from the previous movie. So the fact that we're like going back to the Hollow Earth thing, it was fine enough for the for the usage of that first one, but now it seems like it's going to be kind of a like I don't know what the ratio of like this area versus the surface is going to be for the movie, but it's maybe a little bit too more for my liking that at least I'm getting out of the trailer. Really just wasn't vibing with all like the Kong people. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. It's maybe going through the Apes retros right now. It's a little bit too close to that. I'm getting beneath the Planet of the Apes vibes.
Oh God, let's not go that route.
I think for the vast majority of the CGI, it looked good. I was gonna say good enough, which kind of sounds harsh, but it definitely seemed good, solid good. But then I think there was like the baby Kong thing that you mentioned. It's just like I'm not even interested in what that story is gonna be. I just imagine Kong's gonna die because he's already losing an arm, so now he's gonna be just getting pieced together. I mean,
is he losing an arm though? It looks like he's wearing it over his regular. I don't think it's
I
replacing
believe he's wearing
his
it
arm.
over.
Yeah,
Is
he's
it
wearing
over?
a Infinity
Oh,
Gauntlet.
okay.
Yeah.
oh my god,
So he's
there's
like
stones in this movie. Maybe they're gonna win me back. I don't know.
Oh fuck! Thanos shows up. Like, I guarantee you, it's something like this enemy Kong can't take on. So the humans that's their incorporation of the plot. They make him a fucking glove, and it's just like,
Yeah,
why really?
like
Oh, go ahead.
you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say because I was wrong. To correct myself, it's out in April. March, but this is where I still think I might sit out. March has Dune. It has that imaginary movie from Blumhouse. The Rayman movie's coming out, so look at that, the video game one. You got Pixar's Luca, and then Ghostbusters, Kung Fu Panda, and Mickey 17, the Robert Pattinson and Bong Joon-ho movie. So that's all in March, and April really is the First Omen. And Rebel Moon, I guess. So that's about it. But I still might use April as like a month to like take a break because that's 4 or 5 movies in March between.
Sounds like you have no
those.
excuse. I think you need to go see this.
I know, like if they should have threw this in January where there's nothing out, sure, but who knows, maybe. But yeah, I don't think so. I'll go see the Challengers where Zendaya's fucking those 2 dudes. So.
Kirkland, you look like you inclined
True
your
story.
head when he said Luca, because Luca, Soul, and Turning Red are coming back to theaters. If you didn't,
Just
know
a
that.
re-release, hey?
Yeah, because they came out on streaming. Instead of
And
getting
Turning
theaters.
Red.
There you go.
And Turning
There
Yeah,
you go.
I can't
Makes
wait
sense.
for Turning Red in the theater. That's big in the household. So
I can't wait for all 3 of those. Honestly, I really like all those movies. Probably
You're gonna see all 3.
Probably Turning Red would be the peak, I think, amongst those 3 if I had to do a little ranking. But anyways, getting back to Godzilla X Kong or Kong X Godzilla, I can't remember the order for it. But yeah, I think like when Travis brought up like the human plot stuff, I hate all of that stuff in these Godzilla movies. It's just it seems like it's fluff like that I have to get through to get to the fun action sequences, which I think in all of these more modern Godzilla movies, like I've at least enjoyed seeing big Godzilla pop off on the other kaijus and whatnot. So if they like came out and just said like 80% of the movie is just fucking rock'em sock'em robots with giant kaijus and clashing, just fucking
Kaiju
Wrath
cocks.
of the Titans unleashed. Like I'm so much more for that than like some weird story explanation on why Godzilla isn't just paired up with Kong from the get-go. Like, why do we have to go through all these motions to get to that team up, to get to that cool action sequence where they're kicking ass together? It's just I don't know. I think especially if the runtime is like 2 hours, I'm concerned that it will be like a lot of just human fluff, and I don't need that. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm not seeing this right now. I might be convinced, especially if Taylor's give me some puppy dog eyes for a 2-man review that could be fun. Trevor, were you on the review for Gods for the
He's
last
gonna give
one?
you one of these. Yeah, I
I was
was.
streaming, so we were
It
all
was
just kind of like
COVID,
hanging around.
yeah.
Okay,
So
I
it was
couldn't
an
quite
easy
remember what
watch.
happened,
It was
yeah.
an easy watch. Like, yeah, sure, there's no movies out, but that was the one that broke me because I was like, what everyone, some people have said like, okay, after Endgame, I'm done. That was it for me. Where it's like, I've watched Zilla, King of Monsters, fucking Kong Skull Island. Remember that piece of shit? Like, I watched all those to get to this point, and this was the worst one out of the bunch. It was very much like the first Justice League movie when that came out. Like, we had all these movies, like, oh, and now I end up with 2017's Justice League. So yeah, that did it for me. So yeah, you can check out. We'll re-release that review. But yeah, that was in COVID times, and that was that pretty much punched my ticket then. So, but I was always hoping because I want to like it. I want to have some fun, but.
They're cool names, right? Godzilla and King Kong are both like big,
X.
big.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I'm talking about the two of them. Godzilla X Kong. They're both really big names amongst like the big monster characters.
Icons.
So I definitely want to see them succeed. I don't want to just give them a free win though and pass it if it's not.
Go see
worthy of it,
-1.
but-
Go see -1 subtitle.
I'm interested in
film.
that one. I've only heard good things. Very
Let's go,
strong
Kirkland.
scores.
Friday. We'll
Friday I
talk
got my
after.
Christmas party for work, but
He already just fucking booted me. You see, because I said, "Oh, I don't know when I could see it." Right away, he's like, "Oh,
No, you're
sorry."
coming.
Emily
I assumed you were
messaged
there.
Taylor.
I
and,
said I'd have to talk to you after this when I could go. There's Nutcracker all weekend. I will see it, but see, Kirkland can't do Friday either, so I'm gonna have to wait.
Sunday review.
He's
Hit me
gonna
up.
see it without us. He didn't care. He didn't care about us. So.
I have been salivating.
Oh, you can salivate a few more days. Dylan, you salivating for Kong X Zilla?
I don't know. I mean, not really, but I don't think this trailer is bad. Like, this is kind of exactly what I would expect. You know, it's kind of got those big like roar sort of noises. It's got like just full on CGI, a lot of colors. It's hard to discern what's going on. Can someone spoil what happens in Godzilla versus Kong for me? What's the
They
plot
team
of
up.
the movie?
Got Skull Island
30
is
seconds,
basically
Taylor, go.
Skull Island is subject to storms and whatnot. It's not livable, so they move Kong to the mainland. Godzilla doesn't like Kong being on the mainland because Kong is also an alpha predator like Godzilla is. So Godzilla feels territorial.
Godzilla's just hanging out.
dispute.
He just lives there. He just chilling.
Godzilla just defends his turf, which is all of the mainland, not Skull Island. So
Okay.
basically, he goes to fight Kong, and then they realize like, oh, there's a new enemy, and it's Mechagodzilla. The humans made to protect themselves from
Kirkland, you're
Godzilla and
going way too
Kong and
fast.
everyone. So
So they team up to fight.
they team up, and they after fighting, they team up and they take down Mechagodzilla, and they go their
watching the
separate
timer.
ways.
He did it. He literally did it at the 30-second mark because I was
Very
watching
impressed,
this before.
Taylor.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
BVS. They find a reason to team up. They fight the bigger bad guy. They're
Same
fast
mother.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, same mother. It was fucking wild.
So how much of this movie, Taylor, do you think is going to be them having a kind of communicate? Like, do you think they're going to be with each other immediately in this, working together, or are they going to have to kind of go?
No,
their
I think
separate
you're probably gonna
paddles?
get
They'll
at
meet up
least-
in the third act.
You're gonna get a whole like hour of just Kong exploring like the center of the earth, finding the
They
other
fucking in this movie.
the other Kongs and stuff like that.
Godzilla, Kong, baby Kong's mom.
What is that?
And then you'll find Godzilla come in afterwards. Godzilla's usually the one who comes in after the fact, and he's just like the score kicks
He's
in.
the
Everyone's like,
janitor.
oh yeah. 'Cause, like even with the last one, Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla wasn't there at the start. It was a whole bunch of stuff with Kong on Skull Island, and then they brought in Godzilla just to fight on top of the fucking aircraft carrier.
Right. The first hour of that movie was like the sequel to Kong Skull Island, and then
Yeah,
like, oh right,
exactly.
it's
And
actually
yeah, so
Godzilla versus
which
Kong.
movies are in this canon? Is it what do we got? Is Kong Skull Island in there?
Godzilla, Skull Island,
Okay.
King of the Monsters, and then I think that was
So
all.
3 leading
Well,
into the
no,
versus
God-
movie.
Yeah,
and
and then now we have Monarch. We have a TV show now
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
is that out yet now, or is that
Yep.
coming out?
Yeah, it's on Apple. Tiv, have you been watching it? Are you liking it?
I watched the first one. I have to keep.
Is that Godzilla or Kong or both?
It's Godzilla and a whole bunch of other kaiju's, but it literally starts off being like a sequel to Skull fucking.
Do they pull that
Island.
off budget wise, or is it just a lot of people sitting in cafes talking about big monsters coming to town?
Budget wise, I was pretty impressed. It was actually pretty dang
Yeah.
good.
It's on Apple, so they don't care. They're just throwing whatever money
Apple
possible.
bucks.
But yeah, Dylan, they do this thing where Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell are in the show together because they're playing the same character, but decades apart.
That's fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I have read
Uh,
that apparently Kurt Russell's character is like 100 years old, so there you go.
It's a good age to be to fight a Kong. It sounds like a lot of homework for me to catch up here.
We outsold them. I guarantee
Yeah.
you don't actually have to watch any of that for this movie, though. I bet.
No, because
Yeah,
the show
yeah.
takes place after the 2014 film in the wake of it, so that's movies.
What's the
before
what's the
this one.
runtime on this bad boy? Is it 2 hours flat?
At least 2 hours minimum.
We don't
If
know,
it's
but
2
it'll
hours
for sure
flat,
change.
I'll go see this. If it's any longer, then you have to convince me.
Even a
It's a
second
lot, man.
over, like 20001. That's
Yeah,
it.
second over, I'm out.
Damn.
But it could be fun. I think it could be fun. I mean, I don't think it's going to be my movie of the year by any means, but I don't really go to these kind of just trashy action movies these days anymore. So I feel like every once in a while I
Oh.
should.
Godzilla vs Kong was actually an hour 53, so there's a chance.
There's
What?
wow.
Man,
Or
a
wait,
whole
were you
just-
saying it has to be under 2 hours or 2 hours flat? Like it has
if
to
it-
be 2.
If it's over 2 hours in
Okay.
any by any second, then it's an immediate out.
Okay.
Travis, a whole memory bank just opened up, and I totally forgot about the big promotion leading to Godzilla vs Kong. They did like, "Whose side are you on?" And you're a big Kong guy, and then we see the movie,
Oh my
and Kong got his
God.
fucking ass
Kong's a
handed to him
bitch.
multiple times.
Every time. It was
In that
terrible,
movie.
I
Dylan.
thought they teamed up. They fought.
They
though,
do.
and
Yeah.
got
They
destroyed.
fought a few times, so and every time Godzilla made him his bitch. Like it wasn't even close. Like
Well, are they the same size? Like I always pictured Godzilla was like 12 times taller.
Kong
made-
grew into that size.
yeah, they
he
made
still
them the
got
same
slapped.
size. But that's why they're giving
got
them the
slapped.
glove. They're like, we saw the footage. You fucking suck. Like, take this Infinity Glove. Yeah, I was so I didn't need Kong to win because, of course, he's my boy. I'm fine to admit, okay, Kong lost. But I at least wanted to be put up a fight, and he didn't. It was fucking awful. Just yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why you'd make that choice when you're making that movie. Like, let's make Godzilla just so much stronger than Kong that you don't care about this fight anymore. You know. And remember, Kong came back and he had that big spear, and
Tried to give him a
Godzilla still
weapon.
kicked his
His
ass.
axe, yeah.
What
Yeah,
is
an
the spear
axe.
gonna do against Godzilla?
It had magic.
It's made
or
from
something.
the sharp part of the hatchet was made out of one of the spikes off of one of the Godzilla species.
Doesn't
backs.
sound like it. Sounds like it was made of.
So it can charge it up too, and he
Spaghetti
can
or
actually shoot out like the beam from like
Yeah.
Godzilla's fire breath.
You can
too,
shoot beams
so-
now. Oh, let's go.
Oh yeah.
But Kong
Oh, yeah.
still lost. He had this thing
Kong
that could
still
shoot
lost, yeah.
beams.
And
He had
he
a-
went down a path of the skill tree I was not expecting. He
The
shoot
Mecha
beams out.
Godzilla came in and just
Yeah.
fucking decimated Kong even
He-
more.
Yeah, right. He
Respect,
lost
though.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Well, what-
respect. Maybe he'll respect going into this one, and he'll go. We're
That's
just like
what
he's
the
got the
glove is.
rank,
Yeah.
maybe like critical damage. Yeah.
now he's watching like MMA videos and jujitsu. Like he's like, oh, I can technically like remember how Thanos took down the Hulk? It wasn't by power. It was by like he knew all the moves and everything. Like, oh no, they
He's
better
laying
do
on the ground. Come at me, bro. Jiu-jitsu guy.
all fours.
Oh, also,
Wait for the
Rebecca Hall
triangle.
is Rebecca Hall in all these other movies, or is her first time jumping
No,
in?
first time.
Oh,
I'm a big
first
fan of
time with
hers.
this
That's cool.
fucking
That's exciting.
awful haircut they gave her in this movie. My God,
I think it's
don't
cool.
know.
It's
No,
something
Rebecca,
fresh.
Rebecca Hall. She was in the other one, Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah,
she?
Travis.
Was she?
Yeah.
She had a different haircut though. That's why you don't recognize.
Give
Oh,
her.
you're
respect.
right. Yeah. Great for her. So is Alexander Skarsgård. Oh my God, Brian Tyler Henry, Millie Bobby Brown, that
I
kid
remember,
from Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
Isaiah Gonzalez. This cast was fucking stacked. Kyle Chan, like Lance Riddick. Oh man. Anyways, Taylor, any thoughts on this trailer?
I know what Godzilla and Kong and all that is now, and now it's very much transitioned from what that 2014 film was. I was telling Clay this in the Discord. Go join our Discord. They have detracted from the scale of these kaijus, which I think is a negative for me. But they've swapped it for just this all-out crazy kaiju combat stuff. What's up?
Where are you on the Godzilla run gate? Because there's a lot of people really not happy he's running in this
Right.
trailer. It's a big thing.
It is a big thing, and it's very.
Thought so.
It definitely pulls you out of it a little bit because I mean they're fucking huge. I mean you have to think if they're running, like the Earth would be shaking. It's
Kong taught him
fucked.
some
They're in the
things.
Hollow Earth though, so
They're in the
yeah,
Hollow
works a
Earth,
little
yeah. I don't know. It's not gonna like make or break the film for me because I'm gonna. There's probably so much going on leading into that. You're not even gonna have time to think like, oh, he's running. In a trailer, it's different because it's very like doing cutscene. All of a sudden, boom, they're running. But in the movie, there's probably a billion fucking nukes, everything going off all at once. So that's probably enough to
Nukes.
set you up with what's going on with them running. But
Fuck,
the
Oppenheimer
scale
and
factor not being there. I miss that first Godzilla film where when Godzilla would just kind of like slowly move on screen. Like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
he's just huge. He's so huge. But now the buildings feel tiny. The kaijus feel tiny. There's not a lot of sustenance there. So that's my only con necessarily. But I'm still
Con or
excited.
Kong?
Con, C-O-N. I'm still excited for this film just to see more of the story that they were kind of setting up with the previous film because I didn't think we are gonna get this. And Charles, you were always saying like you're lucky to be getting Godzilla versus Kong.
Well,
after
that
King
was
of Monsters.
Yeah, because King of Monsters did not do well, and that was the rumor that they're like, if we had knew it wasn't going to do well, because they are already making Godzilla versus Kong, and they said if they knew the box office, that was the rumor going around, that they wouldn't have greenlit Godzilla and Kong. And then when Godzilla and Kong came out, it was a surprise hit because it was COVID times, but it made 470 million COVID times. Like, it was one of the bigger hits in COVID. So that's where they're like, well, I guess people still like Kong, and now we got a show. So yeah, it like, because the trajectory from 2014, it was going down the box office, but this spiked up, and I'm curious to see what this one's gonna do, because I really don't know. Like, even right now, it's a little off topic, but it still fits. Like, in UK, Godzilla -1, they're getting their screenings there, and all the screenings are like 75% full, and Aquaman's is like 25%. So it's like, in this day and age, where are we going back to blockbusters that aren't just superhero movies now that are doing really well? It's tough because, like I said, you do have Dune and Ghostbusters out like a couple weeks before, and I think that does hurt it, because those are big movies. But maybe people just want to, I don't know. I think with that one was because it was COVID. I think people just want a dumb movie, and I think like just a fun movie, escapism, right? So I don't know if people are still there, but I'm not going to count it out, because I count out that last one, and it did pretty well. So
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I completely forgot that movie happened at all, and there might be a lot of people out there like me just because of the timing of when it released. So maybe they'll see this and think, "Oh, that's a really cool, fun idea. I'm gonna go see that," and not think about any of the preamble beforehand, all those movies leading up to it.
My last note, and it's sort of like a con. I just am afraid, because if we get this movie that delivers such a big cliffhanger, it just makes me afraid, because I liked how the last one kind of concluded things for the most part, and as rocky as that film was, it's definitely not my most highest ranked out of all the MonsterVerse films so far. I just don't like the idea of them opening up a new massive storyline with potential here for all these like sequels, whatever, and this movie does poorly and we don't get that. I don't like that idea, because I feel like there's so much that you can tap into with this universe, and while they're choosing to go with all these other like Kongs and whatnot and Son of Kong, that's totally fine. It's not the route I would have really wanted them to go, but I'm gonna see what they do, because an army of Kongs versus Godzilla is gonna be pretty wild. I just am hoping
Godzilla's
that
gonna
we get
fucking
to
destroy them all. He's gonna kick all the Kongs.
He will.
Asses.
I wish
running
that,
at them.
Stomping on all Kong's children.
I wish that we would have gotten something more along the lines of like a Gigan or Destroya, the other really crazy, wacky kaiju that are just fucking nuts. Even throw Jet Jaguar in there, some more of those mechs.
Jaguar.
They should get Jaguar.
They
Dylan,
like,
if this
like
trailer
Kong.
had that, would you have been like a guaranteed go if Jet Jaguar was in there?
I'm not that much of a Jet Jaguar fan. I mean, come on.
Jet
He's
Jaguar
cool.
in under 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's the sweet spot.
Well, he already said under 2 hours, so I was trying to see, what if it was 2:15 and Jet Jaguar was there?
That makes
15.
it easier.
Extra 15 for Jets. Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe the next one could be Kong versus Godzilla versus Jet, and then we can get the X.
The Godzilla X Kong versus Jet Jaguar. That's the whole mouthful.
They call it Triple
But maybe
X.
Jet Jaguar could be first. So Jet Jaguar
With Xander
versus
Sure.
Kong.
He'll bring the
X
people in.
Kong plus King Ghidorah or whatever.
I just see this board meeting where one guy, like there's 20 people, but one guy's like, no, but Jet Jaguar, like it has to be first, and then like you got to lead with Jet Jaguar, and
It's just like an algebra equation. The title of this movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. There'll be at least a solo review, right, Taylor? Can you guarantee that? Is that a guarantee?
I would love it if you boys were to join me, but if no one does, I may try and tap Ruben in, because Ruben was there for the King of the Monsters review, so I might be able to snag him. For
yeah,
this
that
one.
Rick Moranis looking motherfucker, as the YouTube comics said back in the day. I don't know if it was you or who. It was you or Ruben. One of you. You got called. So
That
was me. That was me in the chat. Yeah.
let's take our second break, and then we'll be right back. All right, Dylan, what are you most excited for other than GTA? And we'll talk about that trailer.
I'm not going to drop the dog shit trailer banner that exists, but I was pretty unimpressed by all of these trailers. I guess. To be fair, I did not watch House of Dragons or Boys because I haven't seen any of those shows.
Oh,
so
the
I'm
best
not gonna,
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best ones, which is
Gotcha.
fair. But I'm behind on those shows, and by behind I mean I haven't started them whatsoever. So I obviously didn't want to see those big spoilers going on.
Yeah.
But between Fallout and Furiosa, I mean I don't think I was necessarily excited for Fallout just because I hadn't seen what it was. It's like, well, I don't know. So many video game things have come out and really sucked. So I didn't really know what to expect for that one then. But I think I actually had higher expectations for Furious, and they both kind of let me down. So I guess I'd still pick Fallout as my number one if I had to pick, which I do because Maddie asked the question. So I'd go Fallout number one, maybe Kong number two, and then I guess Furiosa 3. I mean, I don't have many options over here because I didn't watch the two best trailers apparently. But yeah, I guess for Fallout, I don't know what it is about it. I need to see more. I guess I just feel like this trailer actually didn't really give me much, and I don't know what I was looking for exactly. But there's just something about it that I think for me, the way Fallout is really stands strong in my mind is just this feeling of desolation and loneliness and just roaming through the wasteland with this radio station on. And that's like the aesthetic that I'm looking for. And obviously that doesn't really fit with like a TV show structure, but this just feels like nothing like the way I experience Fallout and the way I love Fallout. And so I guess I'm not really too excited for it. It just looks like super duper actiony and over the top and tons of characters. But like none of those things really feel like very Fallout. I know like when I think back to like Fallout 4's trailer, that was all about guns and shooting and all this crazy stuff. So that definitely anchored up ratcheted up the craziness of it. But yeah, there was just really not too much for me to grab onto here. I think some of the CGI was inconsistent. Like I think the bear, what do they call, like Yao Goi, whatever they're called, at the end looked pretty decent. But then like the rad roach at the beginning looked horrendous. So like the CGI is kind of iffy on there. And then also I guess for me too, camera just flip. What's going on? I'm going crazy. Is that just on my screen or did my camera just flip for anyone else?
You got very
look
quiet
normal
all of a sudden.
Yeah, you got kind of quiet.
I don't know. Am I sounding okay now?
You sound okay now. I'm gonna
a
go
little
turn you
quiet,
up though.
but,
I'll turn you up.
Like
I don't know
nothing
what
changed
just
for us. You just started freaking out.
My camera flipped, so I'm like, whoa.
He's like, what am I doing here?
Who are you people? You're good now. You're good now.
No, the part about this trailer that needed to hook me was like, what is what is like the key narrative? What is like the main quest of this TV series, or like who's the main character that I'm following and falling in love with? And like I don't know what is her story. What am I supposed
Something
to
with her dad, I think, right? Because Kyle MacLachlan, they
Fallout
did the
4.
whole like, yeah, she's
Or
gonna
Fallout
find her
3,
dad.
actually.
So that's the hook. Is here's a lady and like her dad's in it. That's the hook.
I think this.
Like, that does nothing for me. I don't care.
I'm not
I don't know who
saying
she
you're
is.
wrong.
Why do I care about her
No.
dad?
I'm not
in
saying
the
you're wrong.
game, I care about my dad because he's my dad.
Yeah, and then you take all these side quests to stay away from him. But
Yeah.
I think this was just the announcement trailer. I think a second trailer you'll hopefully get the hook. I think this is to get people that are the normies. I want to ask you this though, Dylan, because you are a much bigger fan of Fallout. You come from like, many more years of it. Another common complaint I saw, and this is just, I think, a common complaint with the franchise, even the gaming franchise in general. Are you a little disappointed that it seems like there's a very lack of tongue in cheek? Like, and not that it's like Deadpool-esque, but like Fallout usually has some, Pip-Boy and some fun aesthetics. Like even in Fallout 4, even with the skill tree, it's like the way they have the images and stuff where people think, oh, this is the really like, a dark, like almost like you're talking about the dark action, world's ending, apocalypse, like, and that is the ending of the trailer. It's like showing, the world's going to hell, like very Oppenheimer, like, and I, as somebody that has only jumped on a 4, I went, you know what, those elements of the franchise, even though they're little in there, I do like that. So I could see people that have loved this franchise for a while kind of be disappointed that this is more going with the Fallout 4 76 vibe of being a bit more serious. And that's a common complaint that I saw around from people, was just a lack of almost fun to it. It felt very heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in terms of the Fallout, fan, the backstory, like I think I feel like a not truly authentic fan because like the first one I played was Fallout 3 and then New Vegas and 4, and then I went back and played some Fallout 2 in hindsight. So it's like I don't really come from the roots of the story, I guess the place of it, but I feel like Fallout 3 was more maybe darker and serious, but there is still goofiness. Obviously, what you mentioned with the Pip-Boy and those animations. Or like even back to like the original Fallout, like those were games were so deep on the RPG stuff where if you just gave your character like 0 intelligence on the stats, you like could literally not speak in the game. You could only make like like grunts and whatnot. Like that's how far it went with
that's
that. And, like
awesome.
that's pretty goofy and silly. And so the games definitely had a lot of that. And yeah, I guess I didn't really get that vibe of it. It seemed more grounded and more serious, perhaps. So I don't think that was necessarily the deal breaker for me, but yeah, even like with the song choice, like obviously they grabbed one of those kind of 50s eras song, but I feel like they went for like a more slow, kind of more ambient sort of one rather than one of the more fast-paced upbeat ones. And so even just like throwing one of those more upbeat songs over the same footage could like completely change it. So that's where I think you made a good point of another trailer. I definitely need more trailer. Like these are my kind of very first impressions, but I don't feel conclusive on any of these thoughts yet until I see more. And it's not necessarily that I'm super bummed by what I got here. It just didn't really excite me either, and didn't scream Fallout other than like, yeah, that's a vault jumpsuit. I recognize one of those, but otherwise, yeah, didn't really have too much of that outside of just classic like post-apocalyptic media. So so yeah, a little inconclusive at the moment, but cautiously curious. I still want to check it out.
Yeah, I'll go because I think I'm more positive on it. I think for effects wise, most part, I didn't have too many issues. Like there's a few, but nothing that as blaring as maybe some other. When I'm thinking about versus other shows, because I really think other than Apple that has the budget for anything, probably HBO would be next. At like when we talk about House of Dragons, like, oh, this looks great, this looks great. Sometimes some of these bigger things we've seen, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, they have their issues, and here for the most part, I got the vibe as far as like at least it felt like the game as far as a world that was lived in and has its whole, like, it does feel like it's still tied to that game. Like I could see Fallout 4 and other Fallout stuff and be like, okay, this is something Fallout. I get that people have that idea with the aesthetic, and I wish that stuff was in there too. And I think that's stuff that you could, someone might argue like, oh, you should show it in the trailer because it sets it out. I think that's stuff you could maybe get more in the show because that could be harder to preview, and maybe they're worried general audience don't want the very kooky like Pip-Boy stuff, like kind of, slowly get that in there. The same way as like Deadpool, the trailers for the most part, it just looked like narration, but I don't think people really understood the GA of how much he would like break the fourth wall and that type of stuff, right? And I don't know if that's gonna be the case here. So I'm excited. I guess also it's just because it's Amazon. Amazon has this great quality bar right now for the most part. They have some of the best shows out there, especially with The Boys and Invincible. So I saw this and I thought, okay, this is like, this looks good, and I feel like we don't have too many video game adaptations that are just flat out good. So that's where I guess I am, that maybe, yes, it could be closer to some of the game stuff that people are wanting, and maybe, yes, some effects could be a bit better, but at least to me it's looking like a good start. I love Kyle MacLachlan, so I hope he's in there a lot, but I think he's just going to be missing for most of it. So I'm positive on it. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun review at least. I don't think it's going to be the same reaction that Taylor had to Halo for some people that are worried. I don't think it'll go that far. I think there's going to be, and they have said this is like canon to the game, and they're going to explain some stuff. So see how that goes.
I mean, even Fallout's a better kind of blank slate sort of IP where there is obviously a lot of established stuff, and they reference things between games, but then like each one's kind of its own standalone thing, kind of similar to like Final Fantasy, I guess, in that way. Whereas Halo is like one continuous story through all these things. So
yeah.
Obviously, if you fuck up the first season, the whole thing feels kind of doomed from there. With Fallout, that's not even necessarily the case. So, yeah.
I was kind of looking forward to this one for just, I think, that first glimpse of what the show was going to be. Obviously knew it was coming. Got a little excited seeing it on the trailer list there. Especially like in the past, I don't know if it's only Fallout 4, maybe Fallout 3 had, maybe even 76. Do they have like live action sequences at all? Like other than just like the teaser trailer or like the opening?
Man, maybe in like the opening credits, like a
okay.
screenshot, like I don't what's the word, whatever it is, but I don't think so. Not much.
Okay, so I think I was just really building up certain things in my head, and what I got very much underdelivered. I don't want to say I'm not going to be checking this one out because I do have access to Prime, and I am curious. But yeah, I just think a lot of it didn't look great, and the things that I loved about Fallout, I think they had like a checkbox of things to like hit to show here. You got the rad roaches, the vault, the vault suit. You got a oh my god, what are they called? Oh my gosh, what are they called? Like the mutant looking
Ghouls?
dudes.
Ghouls,
The
yeah.
ghouls, thank you. Yeah. So I thought it was cool to see them in there as well as some action. None of the humor worked for me like at all in this trailer. There's not a lot of it in it. It is a teaser, but nothing really was pulling me in. And I think what I saw, like the Fallout isms that I was looking for, I got them. Like even like the big mech suits is like, okay, yeah, they look good for sure, as well as their little hovercraft vehicles. I'm so bad. The helicarrier things, whatever the hell. I am just blanking on my
You want
Fallout
to just go to
terminology
Taylor?
here.
You wanna
I'm
go
big
back to you?
apologies here. But yeah, no, I just think I saw a lot of Haloisms in this show, and all of the bad ones from the Haloisms. I think there's going to be certain characters I just really don't like or really don't care about. I think, yeah, there's just, and like, I don't know, I don't want to just like sign it off here, say say it's going to be shit. I definitely will at least check out the first episode. Maybe I'll say that much, and then kind of get my full gauge there. And who knows, maybe like another trailer can really win me over on it. But as of right now, I'm pretty low on this one, pretty unanticipated. I was really looking forward to the possibility of getting like those like Vault Boy little videos that they have throughout
Yes.
the Fallout games, and they didn't have any of that. And I'm not saying that's like the main Fallout thing, but just when I think of Vault Boy and like those types of videos, makes me think of Fallout. So yeah, yeah, maybe I'll just leave it there before I go too much harder on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I am very much excited for this show. I have played New Vegas. I played Fallout 3. That is the extent. I have not rolled credits on either of them. As if you know in the past, I am a Elder Scrolls guy more than I am a Fallout guy. So to kind of understand what this world is really about, and to have a show being that, I guess that access point that'll kind of give me this information so I don't have to really go and play the games. But if I do want to go play the games and expand on what I'm going to learn when I watch this show, I think that's wonderful. I'm just happy that I can enjoy Fallout through an alternative means, I guess I'm trying to say. So everything I saw in the trailer looked interesting. I don't have that foundation of what is kind of like an expectation to be met, and certain things that I probably wouldn't be fond of, like not understanding certain references in comparison to like not agreeing with how they tackle certain things and all that jazz. So I feel like having a fresh take will make me a lot more positive and receptive, and in a hopefully a good way to the things they do in this show, because I don't know what to really expect. You guys are naming off a lot of things and I don't recognize majority of them, but it doesn't detract from my excitement. The humor worked for me in this trailer, and the vibes that I was getting just seemed pretty cool, pretty fun. So I'm down for this. I'm really excited to watch it, and if people are there for a review, I would love to be there.
Yeah, I think we're all
I'll be
there. I
there.
think that's a full house one. At least for the start. We'll see how it goes. But I think you got us for season 1. You know, we're still trying to lock down Kirkland. He never fully answered if he's coming back for another show we'll be talking about later today. But we'll wait till we get to that trailer.
I think he
Kirkland,
did.
He did.
Kirkland, what was your? We'll see. He texts me after. He's like, "Oh, how do I get asked?" No, Kirk, what was your? What was your most anticipated thing other than GTA?
It's not Halo, the one that you're alluding to there.
Damn.
My most anticipated definitely is House of the Dragon on here. Yeah, no, I just got really, really pumped, like just seeing this teaser trailer. I thought they did everything that you would want to do in a teaser. They just got me thinking about last season and got me wanting next season. Summer, I don't know if I just completely forgot about that date, but it seems closer than maybe I was expecting. So that's a nice positive as well. And yeah, no, this just looks fantastic. I can't wait to see some more dragon action. And that first season really, really impressed me. I kind of had low expectations going into it, or maybe lower expectations going into it, definitely than I came out of it with going into next season. And I think it's going to be fantastic. I really don't see them dropping the ball heavily on that. So maybe it's dangerous that I'm saying that right now, but set myself up for disappointment. But
See, I'll go next again because I'm the reverse in this one where I fully think the show's going to be great. I just think this trailer didn't give me. It's kind of the thing where it didn't give me anything. It's just we're gonna kill each other's kids. We both have dragons. Let's fight. Like it just kind of felt like, and that's the thing. That's the unfortunate thing where with. And I guess actually fortunate for them with the setup of last season, we clearly knew where the story was going, right? Like from the last shot, you go, okay, here's where point B is. So there's nothing they could show me like, oh, really? This is happening. I know there's some shots where people are like, this is from this book and this is Blood and Cheese. Like, I guess Blood and Cheese is some sort of story thing. Legit. So it's like, okay, cool. They're doing some stuff that people have the fan, kind of their hooks into, the things that they love. So that's great. So I'm just trusting them. This wasn't a bad teaser. It just didn't do anything. I was like, okay, yeah, House of Dragons. It's one of those teasers that felt like to me like, okay, I think they've finished film, but it felt like, okay, we've only filmed so much. Let's show this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Because I was somebody that was not looking for that show, didn't need it, thought the first few episodes were good, but didn't hook me. But then eventually it's like, wow, I'm back in this. So I think this trailer was like, I think this was only the Fallout one where it's like, this is a good reminder and there's not too much they want to show here because they don't want to spoil it, even though all these people are dead because this is like 1,000 years before. So none of it really matters. But it's all about the journey, right, Taylor?
All about the journey, yeah. This show has me so pumped up. I've been getting the Game of Thrones itch lately. I just want to kind of go back into the world of Westeros and just explore those characters in the show again. And just, I think I might just do a rewatch of House of Dragon now instead, just to kind of satisfy that and just kind of remind myself of everything going into this second season because. Just the finale of that first season was just fucking great, and there's so many moments that I'm so glad we did that review and we were able to just talk about it because there's so many funny things. Just this.
I knew you were gonna bring it. I forgot about him until you said funny moments, and I'm like, oh, Viserys.
What does he say? Like, oh, fine, boys, just messing around. Just what a fucking goofball. Just totally oblivious. So I can't wait to see what the season 2 is going to entail. Just, we're going to get a war. We're going to get all this chaos, just dragons everywhere, and everyone just all the betrayal and stuff. Oh, my gosh. And then Daemon Targaryen, just the crazy shit he was doing. Because Matt Smith was fantastic as that character.
Oh,
so
right.
I can't wait to see him
yeah,
back.
Fuck. I don't remember any of their names except I don't actually know. Who's the main girl?
I was going to say Rhaenyra, but that didn't.
I think it's
Rhaenyra. I think it's
Rhaenyra, yeah.
Queen Rhaenyra.
And it's so funny. The guy who plays like the badass with the eye patch, he's in Saltburn, and he plays the dorkiest character. Like he has super short hair. He has these huge glasses. He has like an big polo. Like when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, this is this guy who like last year like scared the internet for a summer. Like it was really funny. So I'm excited for you two to see Saltburn and be like, like he's almost unrecognizable. This guy.
I'll never. And I'm not really. Well, maybe it is spoilers. I won't say it.
Okay. Dylan, you have nothing to say on House of Dragons, right? So I can go to mine. Okay. What time are we sitting at here? It's like that time. Actually, no,
That was
I'm
a
not gonna
funny
say
moment.
So for me, luckily, we all have different favorite things. Mine is Furiosa because I am one of those people absolutely love Mad Max. You could make the argument for all those hyperbole things. Best of the decade, best movie of all time. Like I am in that camp where I think it is a masterpiece. It's an epic. Saw that movie, and I wasn't even a big Mad Max fan. Like I like it, and that's where we can announce because there's only 4 movies. We're gonna do a Mad Max retro for sure. It's a little spoiler for 2023 for plans, but yeah, I'm looking very forward to that. So, but specifically those first 3 films, I liked them, but I didn't love them. But this was just, and I was hipster trash. So I'm like, oh, this is like the best thing since sliced bread. I was like, okay, how good can it really be? And I just remember being like, just a cinematic experience. My body left, or the soul left my body left the soul, whatever you want to say. I love that movie. So the fact that George Miller is out there doing it again, I'm looking very forward to. Just the style that kinetic chaos. Like there's no one that does just pure chaos than George Miller doing a Mad Max movie. Like this trailer, there's so much going on. I will say I am curious because I love Anya Taylor-Joy, but I will still always be on the bench till I see the movie that I don't know why they had to make this a prequel. I wish Charlize was back. I still wish that. So I'm hoping that's going to switch off once I get there. But man, Hemsworth, This is the Hemsworth I love. This is like bad times at the El Royale. Like he's having a fun time. He's gonna choose the scenery. He gets to use an actual accent finally. I think it's the first time in his career he gets to do that. He has this huge prosthetic nose and this makeup and this hair. Like he looks like he's gonna be such a fun villain. Where in the first Mad Max, the villain was like Morton Joe's very cool looking, but he's not an actor, right? He's just like he's a Bowser bad guy. So yeah, this looked like everything I wanted. I know some people complain, oh, there's more CGI, but the Fury Road had quite a bit of CGI that sometimes was a little but this is a day one. I can't wait. I think I can't wait to see what he's cooking, and I'm very looking forward to this. And I think this trailer, almost like I said about Fall in Game of Thrones, where like the story's just gonna be good guys, bad guys, car battles. So it's not gonna be even the last Mad Max. It's not like an in-depth story. They get from point A to point B, and that's about it. But I think that's definitely more about you're in the theater, you got the speakers, you got the big screen. Like that's one of those movies I say you gotta have that, because watching at home, it's never ever the same. So I'm ready. I'm excited when we do our 2024 video game and movie previews, because I don't know where I would rank this yet, but it's probably pretty high up there for me right now. So that's my thoughts on Furiosa. Dylan, what about this? Because you saw Fury Road, right? I think, yeah. Because I remember we talked about way long ago, like
I think that was one of those ones that you just would not stop talking about. So I was like, oh, I gotta check this out. And then I feel like I maybe watched it with you at your house or something. Like I feel like
I think you watched it with Briggs. I think I lent it to you.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. I think
Maybe
I
that
lent
was
you
it.
the Blu-ray. Yeah. I don't watch it with
I'm not
anybody
watching
else.
this with you. I've seen enough.
When Emily's here, I'm like, nope, other room. You can't be in here. You know.
I really enjoyed that movie. I've not seen I've never consumed any other Mad Max content in my life. So that was my kind of one and only point of checking it out. There was something about, I don't know, I don't know what it is about this trailer. There's something really weird with just the color choices in this. Like there's some weird saturation. It's not really the CGI, but it's just like the sand is so yellow and the sky is so blue. And it's really weird to me. It just makes everything feel very uncanny. And then like Anya Taylor-Joy, she has like such distinct eyes, and the way her eyes are like contrasting like the paint on her face, it just looks weird. Like there's just some weird everything, like this cinematography, the CGI. I feel like all of that stuff is solid, but then just whoever was putting the dials on the saturation just messed with something here and makes the movie look really bizarre to me. So I hope that's just me watching it on my little monitor here.
The sand and sky is definitely gonna stay that way, because in Fury Road it's like that, where they have the saturation.
Yeah, and I
turned
don't remember
up.
that feeling weird to me in that movie. So maybe when it's on the big screen, or even if I just watched on my main TV out there, maybe it would look better. But it just looked funky, and I just found myself grimacing, and I was like, at the end of this trailer, I'm like, why am I grimacing right now? I had to be grimacing the whole time watching this trailer. It just made me feel weird, and not in like a good way. It was just like, this looks so weird and fake, something about it. So I hope it doesn't feel like that when I'm watching it. And then story wise, it's like I don't think that's really why I would go to this movie anyway. But there really wasn't much here grabbing me either. I don't really care too much, I guess, as much about the prequel part, because I don't even remember a single plot point about that Mad Max movie. I just remember the visuals of it. So I don't think any of that stuff really bothers me. So I'm definitely still down to check this out, I think, but I definitely had way higher expectations for this trailer than what I got, unfortunately.
That's fair.
Taylor, you go ahead.
I had really no expectations going in. I was not sure what I was going to see. I just knew it was a Furiosa prequel. That's basically it. So I didn't really know if it was going to be in the same aesthetic, or at least the same kind of setup as what I was familiar with the like Fury Road, but seeing that it has a lot of familiar components to it, things I could at least recognize, because I'm not super familiar with that universe. I like that made it like I could connect those dots, like, oh yeah, this is cool. Okay, here's some reoccurring things. Here's some things that are very familiar. This is pretty neat, and it makes that world building a lot more granular for me, I guess you could say. So seeing the familiar things is what's really pulling me in, getting to see that we're dealing with new things that are building up these familiarities from the previous film, even though it's a prequel I really like. So I'm definitely down to check this out. I've only seen one other Mad Max, one of the first Gibson ones. I think it was the very first Mad Max, actually. But I'll have to. I'll not have to. I'm excited to rewatch that one and do a watching of the other ones, because I'm not sure what really those entail. But Yeah, this should be good. I remember you always praising the game too, the Mad Max game.
Oh, the game, man!
Want
It's
to
one
retro
of
the
my
game? I'll retro the game. Let's do it.
So, I'd be down to jump back in there for around that time. It's coming out in March, or actually no, not March, but whenever I'd be down to get back in the wasteland. But fuck, cause someone put that on my timeline. I forgot that game. Oh, I needed a sequel to that bad. The car combat was fucking great in that. Oh yeah, great. Go pick it up. That game's like $9 now. Find it, play it.
Your coworker you work with.
He just picked it up.
Oh, I just picked up Mad Max. You ever heard of this game? The movie's coming out. They got a good sale.
Yeah, I watched Mad Max Fury Road for the first time in my life this year when I was in Manitoba. Big moment. A lot
It's
of build
like the
up.
video game guy, but with movies.
Travis obviously has been praising this movie, and you're not alone. A lot of people that I just interact with in the wild amongst my day-to-day definitely highly praise this movie, the Fury Road movie, and kind of underdelivered for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's just maybe built it up way too much in my mind as to what it was. I had never seen a Mad Max movie before in my entire life, so maybe that's part of it. I was very impressed with certain aspects of it, especially knowing that a lot of it is practical and really had like moving pieces to it. Like that is definitely, I could tip my hat off to them. But I think just what was going on, I like was trying to get traction on like the story and things. The next thing I knew, it was like over halfway through the movie, and I'm like, I think I should have just like allowed this to happen, as opposed to being like, hey, what's going on here? So I'm very curious how I'm gonna feel on the second rewatch once we make it through that retro that we're doing. So for Furiosa, Taylor Field.
I was gonna say you.
That's what we do. Instead of hands out, we just we turn the ring race.
Yeah.
Fury Road.
Did you go to Manitoba just to watch it there?
I did.
Instead of watching
That's where
in
the copy
Manitoba,
was.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because they have like kind
That's
of
where
wastelands
the
like that, and
copy
they just do some stuff like that with ATVs and quads.
Very
and
similar terrain to what was in that movie, the deserts and everything. No.
Southern Canada.
Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So for Fury,
Fuck those Southerners. God damn.
that's
Can't
right. It is
trust
Southern
'em.
Canada. For
Fuck 'em.
Furiosa, I was very excited knowing that it is Anya Taylor, even though after watching
Joy.
this trailer now, I really wish this was Charlize. Actually, I love Anya, but I don't know.
Right.
I'm
If
definitely
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
100%. I wanted more of her rendition of the character,
Like a
moving into this.
de-aged prequel? Sure.
Just do a sequel.
No, just
No.
What about other than that one shot of Hemsworth facing down to Morden Joe, who was the villain of Fury Road? So I get it. That's why. Oh, look, it's that guy. Other than him, like I just don't know. I want to see this movie and be like, hey, what was the story that this had to be? I think the story is about her becoming a leader and badass, but just like, I don't know. It's very strange, especially when that movie came out. Lots of people were like, oh, they're campaigning for her to get an Oscar. Like everyone was talking about Tom Hardy going in the movie, but when everyone left, it's like, oh, Charlize. And I love Anya, but also her and Charlize have like a very different vibe. Like I don't think they're
100%.
It's a 1-to-1. Like, oh, Anya makes a great like young Charlize. It's like I don't really think I don't think so. So it's just I guess he just wanted to tell the story of how she became the legend Furiosa, which and in your case, I don't want a prequel. So I know my camera's fading, blurry, and whatever. That's the Christmas season, Taylor. Okay, fuck.
Yeah, that tree is got vengeance over here.
I gotta sit closer. I'm sorry.
There you go. But for just judging this trailer on its own,
Watch that back, though, Travis. Watch that back.
I'm trying because I got so much going on. I got a tree. I got my neck. I got a pillow somewhere.
Oh dear. Just judging this trailer on its own, I thought it was maybe a notch, maybe a half notch up from mid for this trailer. I wasn't super impressed. There was a couple very, very clearly CGI shots that was like, oh, come on, you're just disrespecting that first movie now.
The first movie has CGI. There's tons.
I know it has some CGI, but like this was so bad. I thought at certain scenes, specifically like they just had a backdrop of just a straight CGI screen with Anya Taylor, and it's like, this is your first trailer and like you're showing this. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too hypercritical.
There's
here,
some
but
there's some like cheesy CGI in the first. I think people just kind of revisionist history, but there's the really cheesy 3D tire that goes right into the screen. You're like, oh, like why?
Forgot
do you
about
do
that actually.
It's purposely looking weird. Kirkland.
Yeah.
There you go. There
I
you
think
go.
your
It's my
mind
fault,
just
though.
doesn't comprehend like the 3D.
I think that's it,
there.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like I said, for the first one, I should have just allowed it to happen instead of even judging it or giving my opinion on it. But
Yeah. Any
maybe I'll do that for the
critique,
second one.
Just don't do it anymore. It's
you just
all
don't get it.
intentional.
You know, you just don't get it. Yeah.
Hemsworth looks fantastic. I'm really hoping I'm just gonna be watching this and just completely forgetting about some of the maybe preconceived
Controversies.
notions that I have for it, on just thinking of like why does this have to be a prequel? Why do they have to switch Charlize out? I really hope it's just a fun action-packed adventure and seeing Anya kicking ass, and maybe I'll, on the review I'll be laughing at myself for thinking.
You're gonna go see it still though. You're
Yeah,
you're in it,
I will.
doing
I
it?
will for sure. Especially if we're building
Wow.
up to it throughout the retros. Yeah.
And a game retro now. Dylan, you can jump on the movies if you want, if you're not busy.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I'm down.
Dylan, you mentioned my neck. This is the pillow I gotta lay on 20 minutes a day.
Is it like
for my
foam
neck.
kinda situation?
Yeah, it's foam.
Cement. It's a
Hard.
cement
Yeah, it's
block.
cement block. It's a cinder block. But yeah, and my neck hangs over this, and it's supposed to help.
When
it
do you
out,
do
so.
that?
20 minutes every day.
Have you been doing it?
I just got it today, so it's gonna start. But I did
So you
already
haven't
do it
been
today.
doing it.
I did it today. First day, and I did it.
Is that lying on your stomach? Just like pushes on your.
Oh God!
Someone cursed on me. All right, let's take our last break, and we'll talk about the final two trailers. We'll be right back. And we are back. So how about you guys talk about Halo? I got nothing to add here. I will not be jumping aboard because all I hear about the show is shit. So take it away, my friends.
So there's some interesting things going on in this trailer. I gotta say, it feels like they're taking like a big 180 for me in terms of like a lot of the characters. Like, and I don't remember exactly what happens to all these characters, but for example, like the character of Quan was like a big deal in the first season. The spoilers open. Did she die at the end of that season? Like, she was still alive, right?
She was still
kicking.
alive.
She's not in this trailer at all, I don't think.
No.
But instead
No,
they have
people
like
brought that up,
a
yeah.
character who seems very similar, where it's like some other young girl who's seems like her she lives at Reach, it looks like, so her place is getting destroyed, and so maybe she'll kind of be under Chief's wing, which is kind of like the storyline of Quan. So it feels like, why are we doing this plot line again? Now this is me making a lot of predictions here because they don't show that moment in here, but it just kind of seems to me like that's what they're leading towards. So that's kind of a puzzling choice. But then also, we were not a big fan of that Quan like side story in that show as well. So it's like, well, I don't know if they're just cutting that. I guess I'm okay with it, but I don't know if I want them to cut it and then replace it with like a similar thing. So I don't know. Do you guys think I'm crazy on that, or does it feel like one of the directions?
One was with Soren, if I remember correctly, and that's where their kind of storyline was
Soren,
tied.
right?
She
So
wasn't
he was
really,
in here. He was in her first.
He was in
right?
here, yeah. Like she wasn't really with Master Chief much after he just ditches her with Soren at like episode 2 or 3, right?
You're right, but I
You're
feel
right.
like we talked a lot in the show about how at some point it seems like they got to kind of team up again. Like they, I don't know. They at least set
You're
it
not
up
wrong.
Season 3.
Season 3.
Yeah, season 3 or 4. Maybe.
I mean, I'm not really big on that character either. I think that they like introduction wise is great to kind of show her people just get murked by the Covenant to set up the big of a threat they are. But I did not need her to really stick around as like protagonist beside like a sub chief protagonist. Like not
I'm
really
pretty
for me.
thankful for this show because one of my favorite personality traits of Taylor is him hating the show, and just because also back to GV originals, like first year I remember him and I debating for like 15 minutes on a newscast about how he will have his helmet off, and Taylor's like, no, there's no way they're gonna make Master Chief a helmet off. And I remember in the Discord you're like, first fucking shot of this trailer, you see his mug and everything, like it's just
His
how
mug.
how far we've come to you just like it just sounds so negative.
That's what
on
happens when you got a show that was done by showrunners who did not source the games or anything like that for source
Wow,
material.
blame the
Just kinda-
showrunners.
Yeah, but that's not a 1-to-1. You liked the first few seasons of Witcher, and that was notorious that those showrunners didn't like play the games or read the books, right? They're just like, I'm just going to tell this story about The Witcher. So
It's very close
can
to the book,
happen.
though. The first season, at least.
don't ask Cavill. That's what he
They
says.
again, they put elements in that first season that were pretty good, pretty awesome. Fight stuff was great, but there's just so much extra baggage that's really just wasteful. And when you look
Like
at season
Quan.
2, like what's that?
Like Quan. Like that
Like-
entire character.
Then some sex stuff. Like, what are you
sex
doing?
stuff.
What are you doing? You don't need that. You don't.
Good for Master
fucking
Chief.
need that.
Everyone needs some loving, you know.
Get the cheeks out, yeah.
Was
Like-
that his first time? Too, in
Oh
the
yeah,
show?
he was a virgin.
That was his
up until
first
that
time.
point.
And
Totally.
wow, so a lot
Very
slept
quick
with,
backed
beans.
up.
slept with the enemy. Slept with the fucking
Watch
enemy.
Bo was afraid.
Master
You
Yeah.
don't
Chief.
want to have things back.
The Arbiter, him and the Arbiter. just went
Yeah.
at it.
He had sex with the Arbiter.
No, that's a better love story than the fucking
Okay.
loves that he fucking had.
You gotta
in the
watch
That's
it,
in
fucking
Travis.
show.
season 7. That's like Dexter season 7 territory. Running out of
Yeah.
ideas.
But at least the things that they were doing here with this trailer, and I feel like you were maybe you're alluding to this, Dylan. I'm not sure, unless you just meant like you're backtracking with certain things, like they were with Quan. But I felt like they were kind of changing certain things with what we got to see, at least. And yes, they're still keeping Chief's fucking helmet off, but it's nice to see them focusing more on just what the Covenant's doing. When I saw those ships in that scene just rise out of the smoke, I was like, oh fuck yeah! And then just they were glassing they were glassing the planet, which I really love. So if we're getting the destruction of Reach, that's really, really good. There was another character too, Ackerson, that they introduced, which is like Halsey's rival, which is neat because he created the Spartan 3 program, which is like a cheap, just like pump out Spartan super soldiers kind of program, like take orphans and whatever, just get them out there. He's definitely like a very jerkish character. And fun fact, like in canon, he actually was a big fan of Tolkien and his writings.
I like
in
that.
Halo, so
My favorite new
in
character.
canon. In canon.
in Halo canon, yeah. So,
Right.
but we'll see what he does in the show.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I
Get 'em
guess
out there.
you know, when it comes to the action stuff, that stuff was great in the first season. It just was so sparingly used. So obviously, it looks good here as well. But yeah, my expectation now is that stuff's gonna be like used very sparingly, and it's gonna be more focused on the character stuff, which makes sense because it's a TV show, not a movie, and you only have so much budget in there. Yeah, and then I kind of feel like for every other character, there wasn't really much in here to chew on, right? For the first trailer, it was more just like they're back. You see like a quick shot of them, and I don't know. I'm sure for like the game super fans who know all these things, maybe you can gleam onto like what this means for their story stuff. But for me, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, okay, I remember this person slightly, and I guess they're going to be back in the season. So that's why it was surprising to me to not see Quan, because she was a huge character in that storyline, and then to also have that other kind of new character who I don't think she even had a line in it. It just seemed like this seems like new kind of sub protagonist situation in this is the vibe I got. And then I feel like for Chief, I don't know, he's kind of just looking moody and whatnot in this. So there's not really much
gotta
else in
fuck
there
again.
to break down for me. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm excited, but those reviews were a lot of fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to, I guess, is the not watching the show, but the hour after the show's done. When
Yeah.
we can talk to you guys about it.
The reviews will be good. I just want to interject here real quick. My friend, like, he just watched season 1 like
Oh,
last
is he
month.
my guy from where I work?
No.
Just finished the Mad Max game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
it's a
tell
really
him
good
the whole
game.
time that like don't watch this show? What do you don't waste your
No,
time?
like he messaged me on the blue and he just said, why is Master Chief taking his helmet off in the show? And I told him my stuff and he's like, why would they take his helmet off? What the fuck? Who made this? Fucking growing up playing Halo, in the first 33 seconds, he takes off his helmet and he's acting panicked.
I would have said the helmet's not the only thing he takes off. And then I
Oh,
would've
but
just
yeah,
left him on
scroll
red after that.
next
Scroll
48
down.
hours. 48 hours, no
Discord.
conversation, and he just says, "I can't believe I just saw Master Chief's ass cheeks." That was about 48 hours later. Nothing but ass. What an insult.
Is
And then he
this
says,
a,
"No one is dyeing their fucking hair." Now he's talking about Kai that was dyeing her hair.
With the oil, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Is this in the books? What the fuck?
Is Kai the one he had sex with?
No.
No.
Okay.
That's this season.
Tay, is there a chance it's just like a split personality of yours and you're just talking to yourself like in this conversation?
I have many different accounts that I set up when I just talk,
Yeah.
share
You
my
and Groovy.
ideas. So when I talk about the boys I'm playing with, it's really just my split personalities.
He has 4 consoles. Just
Oh yeah, you and the narcs. Yeah.
Doc Madison, Doc.
Oh man.
Kirkland?
Yeah, I'm
Confirmed?
100% there for the season 2 review. You know,
Good.
got to finish the fight, as Master Chief would say.
I love
I
it.
hope this goes 12 seasons and you guys are still trying to finish that fight.
Oh dear.
Fuck.
I think that this trailer had some good stuff in there, and the good stuff is essentially the stuff that I love from that first season, which is the actual action sequence. What were you calling it, Taylor? They're glass in the planet. Is that what it's
They're
called?
glass on the planet. Yeah, they just like
That's
melt
a
the
badass
surface.
term. Yeah, they're glass in all the services, and like you, when those ships were rising through the fog, man, I was like on the other side with you. it was a beautiful shot in the night sky with the big ships going up. So that was exciting. And then I think we got to some characters that I kind of forgot about from the first season. It's like, oh yeah, right. I'm gonna have to sift through this to get to that gold, and then. Oh my god, I don't know any of the characters' names again because it's just been so long. But the one,
Keys, Halsey.
yeah, not Halsey. It's the father of that female
Captain
officer. Yeah, Captain Keys. When he was talking at one point, it got like really quiet, and I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe it was like maybe my audio on my screen just completely bugged out. But for some reason, it just seemed so humorous. I don't know what it was. It was as if they just like did not tweak this trailer properly, and they're like, nobody fucking gives a shit what this guy's saying. Let's just mute him and show some action sequences with his voice going off. I just was totally chuckling at that part because I was just getting hit by like the Kai sequence, the Master Chief sequence, just a lot of things that were fun to talk about. Not necessarily to watch, but fun to talk about after with you guys on the review for that one. So I'm looking forward to this. This show for like I would probably rank this number 2, honestly, as my most anticipated. If I have to keep GTA out of the list.
Fucking kidding me.
I know, I'm serious because those reviews are very
That's
fun.
fucked up.
And one thing that show definitely
trailers. I'm not
did.
talking about the reviews. Some of the fucking trailers, man. There's no number 2. Come on.
Yeah, 100%. Furiosa underdelivered, Fallout underdelivered. Didn't watch The Boys. Am I missing one on there? I think that's it, eh? So, yeah, I think another thing that this did for me while watching season 1 was really just bring back Halo in my life. Like I was I don't think I even finished it, but I was reading through Fall of Reach, like that book, and man, like Halo's just fantastic. So I am excited to be back into that world, I guess, even if it is gonna be some sloppiness.
Some sloppy joes, yeah.
Fun fact for everyone that has not watched season 1: Paramount dropped it on YouTube for free, the whole first season. So
That's pretty wild.
Go Travis.
Nice try, Taylor. Nice try throwing that out there. Oh, for people that haven't seen season 1.
You know what's great about YouTube? They have the built-in like two times speed and all that. So you can
Yeah.
speed through some of it.
Give me a 5 times speed. Maybe that'll help me
The
out.
slow
there.
time as well for certain.
Yeah, I was there for episode. I think I was there for
cheats.
episode 1 and 2. I think, and then I was like, I think of.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you
So
were
I
there.
Forgot you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried out. As a non-Halo fan, there wasn't much for me to gleam onto. I wish I stayed around because it sounded like you guys had a good time, but as we know here at GV, you can't do everything, and I'm fine if I gotta drop Halo. That's still a Barden or a bridge I'm willing to Barden, whatever it is.
Barden.
Bridge to Barton.
With Barton over here.
Yeah, whatever it may be. So, Kirkland and Dylan, if you want to space off, you can if you want to for the us talking about the boys.
I'll glass out of
Is it gonna
here.
be like an hour-long deep dive or something? What's going on here?
Well, no, I just thought like you guys didn't have to. You could hang on if you want. I'm just saying like you didn't have to because we're just talking about the boys.
Really wants
so.
I'm out of here. That eggnog went right through me. So you guys have a good night.
After 2 hours.
Leave your mic on. No.
See ya.
See you on Thursday.
Bye.
Yeah, you can stay Dylan if you want, or I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
Giving you the
Stay.
option. All
do
right.
it.
So then, Taylor, what are you feeling about the boys?
Oh man, it just looks like they're really going for the showdown between Homelander and Starlight, and just really letting the people kind of have a much more of a prominent position here. I like the kind of that overarching narrative too, where there's just they're kind of like not controlling the people, but letting the people kind of just screw themselves over to a degree, and just it's just having that high of finishing Gen V and getting now to this. It's just I'm so stoked to see new familiar characters as well, and of course you get that classic shot of the Deep and that fucking octopus, and
Yeah, literally when the
Fish tank.
trailer says "Who tongues your taint," and then it's a shot of the Deep and the octopus. So
Damn.
yeah, there's a guy that fucks
Oh.
octopuses in this show. Dylan.
Sounds
so.
like season 1 of Halo, if you ask me.
yeah.
oh, but no, it's just it just looks fantastic. I'm so ready to get back into this universe with these main characters and anti-heroes, villains, all that kind of jazz. And just to see what Homelander is doing now, because they alluded to that in Gen V with the trial and stuff, and just what is he doing and how is he surviving? Because I'm curious to see where the lady who's popping heads and where she's gonna fit into this story, because it seems like she's still doing her running for office kind of campaigning, and just how that's gonna play into the narrative here. Like, I feel like she could really take out anyone. So why is she letting Starlight and Homelander do this kind of fight between each other? Is there must be some
I think
bigger
it takes the
picture?
heat off her.
That's
People aren't
true.
looking for her if there's this big civil war of soups going on, right? So
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, it was interesting because we had heard some rumors that, because I'm just scrolling through the trailer again, because this is one I seen a couple days ago. Black Noir is back, but we don't know who that is. I know some people have some theories that's the guy from Gen V, the young guy who's super strong, who the Golden Boy's brother. I don't think it's him, but I've seen it as a working theory. His name was Sam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people have that as a working theory, but yeah, the Deep and A Train all back. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who I know nothing about as far as comic books, because I've never read these comic books, but he got a big highlight near the end, and I didn't know where he was going to be aligned, so it looks like he's aligned with the boys for now, but that doesn't mean much in this show because people are always flip-flopping for personal gain and stuff. So yeah, I like what it's setting up as far as Homelander's he's going full crazy. He's not going full crazy yet, I guess, but like you said, kind of the people are doing that for him. He doesn't have to, because we always thought when Homelander would snap, he would just go and take out the world, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. I do share everyone's concern about, I think Ryan is the kid's name, right? Homelander's kid.
Yeah.
He does kill a man in this trailer, and that's surprising because it's like you're having this 12, 13-year-old kill a person, and it's like, I don't know how you come. Like, he doesn't know his strength, but it's just like they're making him do certain things he can't come back from, and I'm very interested how does Butcher deal with that. Like, is he gonna kill Becca's kid? But I don't know. Like, there's lots of dynamics here that I like, that you can't. None of these problems are solved easily. You can't kill one person that solves everything. There's all these people with these different agendas. I actually felt like, even scrolling through it, I feel like Huey is not really in this trailer that much.
He wasn't
I feel
featured much in it. No.
no, it's just so funny how he was our main character, and now it's like, I guess last season he had like a bigger storyline where he was taking the V and getting the powers, but doesn't feel like much about him here. So yeah, I am curious. Like you said, with Newman, with Homelander, they have a lot of threats, and I do think they're it's tough because they got Gen V season 2 and they announced The Boys in Mexico, and I just worry with the Boys, because people meme about that, right? Where the whole season is the boys want to take out Homelander, they almost do, and then he gets away, and then the cycle starts over. I do think that now we're on season 4, they got to be careful, because I think if they start going too much, it's going to get repetitive, and I feel like they got to get to a head. So I'm hoping that's what these riots, these teams, this very Democrat versus Republican sort of line they're drawing is leading to the ending, or not ending, but just like the rising point, because I like I said, I think you can only do that for so long. But this is like, between that and Invincible, these are the best comic book shows on TV right now. So I trust them. Gen V turned it around for me when I had a couple episodes. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. And yeah, if anyone, I'm kind of worried about Starlight, to be honest. I feel like Starlight we could lose her, and I hope not, because Huey's been through enough. But I think Homelander's gonna be off the deep end even more. So here it's looking like. So
yeah, well, you see that one scene too when the crowds are fighting and Starlight looks so stressed, and Homelander's just standing behind his folks. He's just smiling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
God damn.
Can't wait for more Anthony Starr. So yeah, that's The Boys. Looking forward to that, and yeah. Everybody, thank you very much for listening. Got lots of trailers, so that was a good time. Got SideQuest happening later on this week, the Game Awards, and then next week we'll be back with some more news. Who knows what will happen now, but it's nice to be getting trailers and stuff like that. So we will be back next week, and it will not be boring.
Bye.